is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image. Make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to 420.
Uostarosta.
Huh.
Uostarosta.
What's he doing? That's odd.
Booster.
I'm sure I can fix it. I think.
October 8, 1871. The Chicago Fire. You are there.
Walter Cronkite reporting, Sunday, October 8, 1871. In this year and month, we are suffering in Chicago the strange calamity that is most devastating and annoying to that new city, which is now only 30 years old. In this year, 1871, Chicago has grown like a boomtown, and a series of fires the last few months has made the city fathers realize that their city has grown much too fast. Chicago is now going through a drought. There's been no rain for nearly 6 weeks. The buildings, mostly wooden, are dry and as a result, dangerous. The last 5 days, there have been reported fires in many areas. The firemen, as a result, are exhausted, undermanned, and ill-equipped for such a series of outbreaks. Yesterday was the worst fire in Chicago history. 4 blocks were entirely burned. We've heard reports that another fire has broken out in a barn on the southeast corner of DeKoven and Clinton Streets. The barn, owned by the O'Learys of that area, has caught fire and is being whipped by a very strong southwest wind. We understand that flames are spreading to the adjoining sheds in the interior of this block. We take you now to our reporter on the corner of DeKoven and Clinton Streets. All things are as they were then, except
You are there.
What is that supposed to be?
You made my mind freeze, and time stands still. No more going down the path, can't climb that hill. That's why I wrote this little rhyme that will cut you like a knife till you find that pill. I was still in the days, for many days, within the maze to this pretty dame who I've been engaged for 5 years, 4 months and 20 days. Was until I came back that you went nowhere. Brought so many pains, you call me sick, but you and I know I'm plenty sane. I was driving hella high down the highway to heaven. My life was like a skyscraper on 9/11. Been gifted a Rolex, no time like the present. About to win this whole pop, but then I'm 2 using 7. you soft shit motherfucker. I get so oblivious, so insidious, I get so vindictive. Use an idiot running with little kids playing cowboys and Indians. You said you'd be my friend until the end, but in the end you just jump ship. So take all the product that I bought you and rub it on your tits. I'm out of pocket like an alcoholic, having withdrawal fits. All bets are off, let it off my chest. Don't test my offense, I'd be better off if I let her on. But I'm never soft, cause my leather's strong. And if the weather's hot, then my sweater's off. And if my cheddar's off, I'ma set it up. Yeah, bitch, I'ma fucking set it off. Cause I drop it like it's hot, then I rock the house. I speak tongue-in-cheek, you talk talking about. Smoke so much weed, I got cotton mouth. Blood through so much speed, I'ma have to cop an ounce. Finish on the floor, cause we fell off the couch over the counter. And off the shelf, we gon' make it rain to stop the drought. I get so oblivious, so insidious, I get so vindictive. Use an idiot running with little kids playing cowboys and Indians. You said you'd be my friend until the end, but in the end you just jump ship. So take all the product that I bought you and rub it on your tits. No, there he goes again, he's so oblivious, so impervious to the fact that he's only scribbling riddles in the middle of Leviticus to these chickies twittering. Shout out to my little friend drizzling like a Vietnam movie. You drop the bomb on me every time you pass the bong to me. It just dawned on me what an anomaly. Our astronomy, it's a comedy, and synonymously it's a tragedy. And it's so sad to me to see your reaction bending over backwards just to get back that attraction. I'd be happy with that, but take a stab at the fraction. You was my soon to be, now on the check your has been. You took advantage, I took you for granted. You could never fathom how bad I've been damaged. I get so oblivious, so insidious, I get so vindictive. Use an idiot running with little kids playing cowboys and Indians. You said you'd be my friend until the end, but in the end you just jump ship. So take all the product that I bought you and rub it on your tits. Being chicken and waffles with this bitch who was awful, man. Getting off a good time. Shopping me in good time, going off for a Rebecca. Go when it's not your line. I was eating singing pancakes when I made a mistake, and I had to swallow my pride. I put my foot in my mouth, decided hoofing it out to make up for that lost time.
An area 4 3/4 miles long from the north to south, an average width of 1 mile, has been wiped out in a short period of about 30 hours. But it's been a prosperous business and industrial district, with now nothing but occasional piles of stone and brick.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm friends with all those women out there. Woo! All the ladies in the house, throw your hands in the air. Woo! Yo, this smack I'm flipping could send me back to prison, but my cash is tapped and I owe that back rent again. So I'm selling crack, even though it isn't legitimate. Lord forgive me, even though I know I'm a sin again. My rap's so cold, my flow is frozen again. When I get to spitting, it snows in Michigan. Overdosing off that flint water. When I swim, my tongue explodes from those carcinogens, and then my lungs implode from no oxygen in them. Looking like I got toxic shock syndrome. Mockingjay when she plays the gunshot victim. I got sick when the liquor store sold me food. Drop a soap, girl, you know I'm broken your boob. Dripping sweat, getting wet, we eloping in nude. Better hope I don't rip open your fallopian tube. You better hope I don't rip open your fallopian tube. Yo, I don't trust these Masons who've been placed in these high places. Why? Cause I know these Masons wanna see me placed inside these cages. Yo, you just a date raping, baby, alien vaping, inhaling Homo sapien. You just a date raping, baby, alien vaping, inhaling Homo sapien. You just a little Homo sapien. Yo, you just a date raping, baby, alien going bad. Just know that we go back in a nanosecond. Hopefully you listen to this fast and be slow to speak. Only wish that I could grow some wings like Jenna and fly so far away. In my park car, my radio starts to play. In a bar, spitting bars, sipping Chardonnay till the wheels fall off. Yo, we just lost the brake. Stop for a DUI and got locked away. We're drunk from alcohol and we got the shake. I had to let, oh boy, he just lost the case. Technology got destroyed and they lost the case. But you still believe in moon rock and rock from space? Yeah, they just rock from space. Yo, I don't trust these masons who've been placed in these high places. Why? Cause I know these masons wanna see me placed inside these cages. Lies. I don't trust no masons who've been placed in these high places. Why? Cause I know these masons wanna see me placed inside these cages. You just dick raping, baby, alien raping, inhaling, homo sapien. You just dick raping, baby, alien raping, inhaling, homo sapien, homo sapien, homo sapien, yo. You're just a homo sapien. It's so hard to win when it's so hard to lose. Yo, it's so easy to lose when it's hard to win. It's so hard to win when it's so easy to lose. It's so easy to lose when it's hard to win. Yo, I don't trust these masons who've been placed in these high places. Why? Cause I know these masons wanna see me placed inside these cages. You just a dick raping, baby, alien raping, inhaling, homo sapien. You just a homo sapien, baby, just a lonely homo sapien. You just a dick raping, baby, alien raping, inhaling, homo sapien. Dick raping, baby, alien raping, inhaling, homo sapien. You just a date. Space is fake.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the mud zone.
The world is flat. I'm here to ring the alarm with my puppet like charm, straight from the barn. I'm talking about Flat Earth Farms, cause most don't know. They think we live on a globe, a ball that floats. So listen and take notes, and take it to a higher plane. Immerse yourself in all it contains, in all its glory, and Flat Earth Farms can take you there. Open your mind outside the box. No more staring at NASA's Photoshop. No more moon landings, no line to ya. No more people standing backwards in Australia. Just facts and pure truth, planning straight to the roots. Flat Earth Farms help you understand. A magical place on a wondrous land.
The world is flat, and that's a fact. Tell your friends next time you chat. Let them know a ball ain't that. Let's stay playing with the baseball bat. Cause we coming at the barn, a higher place, the Flat Earth Farm.
tonight, Singe Man?
The same thing we do every night, Boston Ray. Try to take over the world.
The world of science cares about you. Eureka! We found it. With the tools of science, we have invented, yes, hand sanitizer. But not just any hand sanitizer. This hand sanitizer was developed and approved by the Dark One himself. Here are a few of the things our product can bring you.
What's up, Sanj? Oh, there he is. How we doing?
Welcome to Late Night Live.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
Welcome, mud mobbers. I'm glad. See what I hate? I gotta get my green screen going on here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
care.
For now, I'm going to flicker. I'm glad that you all made it on time. I despise tardiness.
Well, let's give a shout out to who's here.
I despise tardiness.
Ryan.
Welcome. I'm glad that you're here on time. Because
Sue.
otherwise, we would have
Sue
to
Finelli.
listen to this next commercial. See, now I would go to our sponsor, and then it would be like, boom.
Flat Earth Andy.
Okay. Well, hey, hail, Warriors. This is Sparta. What's left of it? Boom, baby.
What else we got? Come on. Oh, B. Hendricks. Just giving a quick shout out. Won't hurt. Twilight Nights was here. That was earlier.
I was thinking about putting my green screen up and tacking it out. I might do that during the show.
What is it? Friday night tonight? Friday
tack there, and then later on I'll just have to paint over it or whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Well. So get this out of there.
What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do about it?
It's flat. Now what you gonna do about it?
I thought you knew about it. You had to do
flat,
without it.
Flat.
All right. So, what are we here for tonight? Yeah. What are we here for tonight? Singe, what are you here for tonight? What are you here for?
I'm here to express a truth about I don't know. How can we talk? I guess we have to
hold on. No, I'm not gonna stop with this one.
A truth.
I'm gonna take
down.
it back.
We might get shut down, but we'll probably have to maybe skim over that. Just a truth about directed energy weapons, which actually
directed energy fires
is
and the great fires. Yes,
it's actually in the current military records that they have ability to do it. We'll be showing that. And they have another word for it called I'll look for it. Non-lethal soldier, non-lethal solo soldier weaponry.
Yeah,
because it's directed, so it can be non-lethal because it's directed. And we have some really cool proofs of like through the roof of a church in Lahaina town. They look up and there's a line, a straight line in the roof, and nothing else got burned. I'll show that too. It's like, okay, it's really like, yay, we live in Truman Show where they have this like beam weapon and they can just like do whatever they want. We could all be fried instantly. So tonight, welcome to Fear Porn.
The Reset Theory.
Well, is he going to play?
Before starting this report, I'd like to tell you one important thing. I was always talking about the things that were not popular. Although they were actually statistically not popular, they were important, and what's surprising, they were always up to setting trends and counteractions by the censorship. The information I was providing to the people was always open and clear for the ones that wanted to cross-check, fact-check, and I can admit I can't find any decent critics of what I was saying. Most of the critics was just emotional interpretation of what actually was a reaction to things they can't believe were presented by me. Some were chanting I was an actor, but could not find any of my background in doing so. Other folks thought I was making big money, but struggled to provide any evidence. There were people who said I undermined the Western historical paradigm or even participated in ruining the Western values, connected my research with something anti-Semitic or even election denying. QAnon conspiracy theories. I've met a lot of good people, read thousands of comments, replied to most of them, and yes, I do not regret I was doing my research, neither I regret that I was informing all those who followed me all these days and were seeking an answer. Today,
I had to shut my camera off
on this path of reset theory research. I wanted to summarize everything I
Interesting
know in this
bot
last
voice,
set of
but
videos,
okay.
part by
Yeah,
part,
yeah, yeah.
until they stop me
We'll
or
go with
I
it.
get dragged to the
Everybody.
finish,
You know,
like I
in the
did during
future,
my Mud Flood puzzle
these
series.
bots have rights.
So I hope that
be
YouTube gives me
kind,
this
don't be
opportunity
rude.
and let you guys promote this to the
Bots
folks that
might
haven't
rule your
heard
life
or
one
seen
day.
this information, because I know I'm shadow banned. I was showing it live plenty of times.
Yeah, we speed it up a little.
At least I was cautious enough to keep this channel and most of this information all the way through these years. I used several platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and
No,
YouTube.
it's Philip.
So yes, I
It's
wanted
Philip's
to share
husband.
this, to break through the
Oh,
censorship and to inform the people. That's our
It's
role,
him.
since almost
He
no
just-
one else is
I don't
doing
know
it.
why he used the voice.
I know a lot of great content creators that were doing
No,
their
it's
research
great.
as dedicated as I was and totally independent from me. In fact, some of them were mentioning me, and some found the same information I was presenting to the people. But this time around, it's no longer important who was first to say or to find something. This is the point of no return either. I don't want to lead the censors to any of the folks I consider as a source.
He's
I
doing
can
this
state
series.
only one thing here. I express my personal beliefs and point of view on things that I'm going to present,
videos.
despite what others might have been saying or doing
It's really good. It starts off like this, but it gets good.
prior or after the release of these upcoming videos.
The reset theory. So he's been making these videos. They're not too long. There's only like a few of them so far. Look, the reset theory, the division, the parasites, the occupation.
This is my video game character look. See, I'm a video game character. So I have goggles and a bandana.
Nice.
And I can do all kinds of martial arts stuff. So
nice.
This is my video game character.
We can all agree that there are always at least two sides counteracting in this world.
Yes.
Hot is always an enemy of cold. West is a counterpart of the East. Good is against evil.
Yes.
War is the other side of peace, right? So this eternal contest
good
is implemented
is
everywhere
God
we look,
with
everywhere
one
we go
O.
and do our research.
With two O's.
Religion
And evil,
suggests that there are
devil
demonic
without the T.
creatures that counteract with God-created
Which is
creatures.
so
This
obvious,
is the
but,
base
you know,
or the ground that we obtain when we
someone
grow
shoves
up.
it in your face, you're like, oh.
In sciences,
Sue,
we learn at
my
school
lovely
there are plus
Sue.
and minus, negative and positive,
Yeah.
below and above zero, and so on.
And so on,
The
and
same
so
as in
on,
economy,
and so on.
Poverty versus wealth, credit versus debit, earnings and payments, supply and demand. In politics, there are different parties, competitors, and so on. Of course, there are always at least two competitors in every election, at least two parties, two sides, pro and anti, for and against. Republican or Democrat, capitalist or socialist, right versus left, liberal versus conservative. Multiply all of this with countries and alliances, beliefs and red lines, mainstream and alternative media
I like the
groups, and you will
carousel.
get the eternal merry-go-round
Right.
type of foreign
Division.
relations on so many layers of interaction
Distraction.
that we have already got used to it, like we did with weather or
Ooh,
seasons
your
of the year,
skin is a
time of the
different
day,
color.
and
oh
so
my.
on.
Let's make what?
We hope
See,
for
from
a
a
better
very
future,
early age, I'm
but we
like,
cherish
what?
the
That's
past.
weird.
We start
I
our
was like,
work in the
you people
morning
are
and
weird.
finish it in the evening.
Age
We
5,
wait for the
I was
rain
already
to
being
finish
called
and we go
weird.
outside during sunshine and so on. So this polarity
The
is the
yin yang.
ground, the foundation of our life.
There you go.
Some suggest that there is multipolarity, that there is no place for monopolarity in this world. For every hegemon there will be a survival contest in the end. Every Rome gets its Carthage, every Greece gets its Troy. Allies get their axis of evil to fight, to win or perish in history. The system pretends and intends that this is the natural way, the way of emerging, the way of evolution, the way of life itself. But does it have to be this way?
Does it?
We've been taught about divide and conquer since the
show
school
off.
history lessons.
I'm flickering.
When you have a
Can't
division,
show
you
off
could get
enough. I gotta
conquered.
stop the
But who is the
flickering.
conqueror?
Start showing off.
Yeah. All right. So that one's done.
You ought to be
They're only-
in pictures.
They're only a few
I
minutes.
ought to be in
There's one
pictures.
more. Imaginary World, the Parasites. Which one did I watch that was really good?
Jeepers,
I
creepers.
think it might have been this
Where'd you
one.
get those beepers?
I'll go through one more, maybe. See what happens.
You okay?
I got to build a whole new
Are you
payments
okay?
integration.
Yeah.
Months of my
I'm fine.
Some opinion leader is publicly using this.
All right. Let's see about this one.
Imaginary world. Did you know that someone came up with the Pink Pony Planet nickname
I'm
for
going
this
to
world?
step away.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Un
I
momento,
understand
por
that.
favor,
When
mi
some
amigo.
opinion
Yeah, yes.
leader is publicly using this term, we are dealing with implementing someone's agenda. but sometimes it's not just a public relation case. If we would actually comprehend what we are witnessing these current couple of years, we'd surely come to a conclusion that this term is quite correct.
Yeah.
First of all, the stupidity of the policies that are implemented, the science that is mainstreamed, the media. These three factors are way more outrageous than they have to be in the smart world we all want to live in.
If you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another.
Fuck. Alright. I'm not gonna let it get into that tonight. Jesus. I'm so over him anyway. You know what I mean? God. How we doing? Oh. Alright. That video, that series of videos, it breaks down the whole reset theory. Like, it gets good. It warms up slow, then it gets into it. But I think it's gonna get really good because he's been putting out new ones. Seems like it's gonna be good. All right. So tonight I want to get into the Great Fires, right? So if you look into Great Fires, there was Great Fires almost everywhere. Like the Great Fire of everything. Like the Great Fire of Boston, the Great Fire of Chicago. Like every single place had a Great Fire. Everywhere. Just look it up. I bet you had a Great Fire where you live. So what I think about the Great Fires is that, like, they found the place like that. And those are just photos that are left over. Maybe. Perhaps. They had it up. Here it is. Come on. Computer's glitchy tonight. Oh, man. Where was it? All right, here we go. Screen share. All right.
World that the Great Fire narratives all over the world are a massive. What would happen if today we proved to the world that the Great Fire narratives all over the world are a massive, massive cover-up, proving
Come on, man.
that they were actually huge demolition projects, removing buildings that were built prior to 1776.
That's a good take on it.
And that the population of these massive cities were basically zero. What if I told you that today, after this episode, you will never think about the Great Fires the same way ever again? What if I told you that after this episode, you will never trust the mainstream history ever again? I've been waiting a long time to share this episode with the world. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Are you ready to see what we found today? Chicago, Illinois. We have the 1871 Great Fire, a fire that destroyed everything, over 17,500 buildings, and only left 6 buildings supposedly, killing basically nobody. 0.0008% of people died. Humans cannot inhale smoke. Not only do we have to keep the fire physically burning the individuals in mind, but also just as dangerous and a major cause of death from fires are actually inhaling smoke, taking only 2 to 10 minutes to pass out or even die. Fire burns oxygen, so as a fire continues to be active, more oxygen gets removed from the room. Keep this in mind as we continue. Here we have photos of all of the buildings. The whole city was supposedly destroyed by a fire. If this is true, then more than 300 people of the 334,000 people would have died. Today, in my opinion, will be the end of the mainstream history narrative. Let's all take a minute and thank all of our Patreons that keep this channel going and help it reach new people every single week. Welcome to episode 59 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day. And if you're new, welcome.
There's a YouTube channel called My Lunch Break. It's called My Lunch Break YouTube channel. You will get addicted to that shit.
One of two things.
Yeah, it's a good channel.
Things is more likely than what they're telling us, and more probable mathematically, where all of the buildings are destroyed. Yet, nobody had an issue getting away. So either there were more people that died than just 0.008% of the population. When all of the 17,500 buildings were in flames, than we're actually being told about, which would make a lot more sense. But this is not the narrative that we're told. And to clear this up, and to give this a much clearer perspective, on 9/11, in the year 2001, not 1871, 130 years of evolving and advancing, 1871, where people didn't even have cars yet. They had to ride their horses or run around in order to escape this fire. While on 9/11 in 2001, there were nearly 3,000 people that died. This is 10 times the amount of death than the entire city of Chicago in 1871. 2 buildings versus 17,500 buildings. 2 buildings holding 10 times the death toll. Nearly 3,000 people. So that is option number 1. The other option is that the population simply wasn't 300,000 people like we're being told.
33.
And these cities were actually empty.
Yeah.
And the previous civilization was erased. And it was time, more specifically, a planned time, to demolish most of their work. And they just absolutely shredded these 17,500 buildings with massive bombs and explosives to destroy the old world civilization's construction. Buildings that would have given this entire false narrative away decades ago. Destroying 17,500 buildings before anyone really even started living in Shalaga again. And this option, in my opinion, seems like the most logical answer. Because why would only 300,000 people already have 17,500 buildings in the first place? I think this point alone proves that we are being lied to, that the mainstream history is not truthful. Right after this 1871 fire, they tell us that they just cleaned the whole thing up, and all these other brand new buildings are magically here again. For example, like we discussed in episode 58, the second Palmer House was completed just 4 years after the 1871 Great Fire. So we can see that the mainstream narrative has a ton of issues and flaws. It is becoming story hour. It's not factual information like we deserve at this point.
It's
and
becoming
these questions
story
that we're
hour.
asking are just opening the floodgates for the truth to come through. We also have the Masonic Temple building.
Oh, the Masonic Temple building. Oh no. I'm telling you, this is gonna get good. I have it together tonight. How we doing? Who's in the chat? Anybody new? Flat Earth and where is everybody tonight? What? All right, I was supposed to have John Keeley was supposed to be here. Rasta Bear was coming in tonight. We have a whole bunch of people supposed to be coming in. What up, Eli? Singe Man was supposed to be here. Sometimes I just have to go it alone. Shifty Eye Shady. What up, Singe? You're still there? Hey, hey. What up?
Okay. So what did we learn from that, boys and girls?
What did you learn?
Now, I learned
Did
that.
you learn anything?
Yes,
you
I learned that
something? You learned something?
when it's dark and you're in a classroom and you have a one-hitter, you can sit way in the back, and if the teacher's not on top of it, you can get away with a couple hits in class in high school.
I wouldn't chance it.
In class, indoors, because we lived in like the deepest winter area.
You're braver
so
than me, amigo.
You couldn't go outside. So,
oh my God, here we
when
go.
it was movie time.
the Kardashians have redefined.
Yeah.
To compare the great.
How nuts is that? We didn't get caught.
All right. Remember? So you remember where he left off, right? Masonic.
Yes.
He left off at the word
Exactly.
Masonic Temple. All right. You ready?
But,
boom, baby. Masonic Temple.
Their information to. The temple building was the tallest building in Chicago. You know, the building that was owned by the Oriental Lodge. Number
leaks into
Masonic 33, which still meets today. And it also.
How does it look?
It's like
on the
what?
screen like that?
It's everywhere.
What? Hold on.
We know who those guys
holds
are.
the narrative where the primary designer of the building
It's not a full screen.
and the primary representative, both of them, not
That's bullshit.
one, both died during the construction, which we have seen so many times. Where we also know from episode 58 that they moved to the new Masonic Temple in 1926, where it's time to take this up a notch and really start to put this whole thing into perspective, and also go even deeper than we did in our last episode, because there is so much more to this story that we didn't cover yet.
All right. Real quick. So you guys see how all these pictures look the same? These are all from like different great fighters. They're not all from the same one. And they all look the same, and they got these shady-looking dudes standing around with top hats, doing Masonic hand symbols.
What kind of hats?
In the middle of the rumble.
What kind of hats? What kind
Black
of hats?
top hat. What did I say?
Oh,
Cowboy hat?
Oh, big hats.
Top hat.
Someone might say a big hat.
Yeah. I mean, they all look like that, you know? And they're just
As
like,
opposed to
sitting
it's not a
around.
small hat, right?
It's all the place is like ruined. Like, where are they going? Like, they're wearing suits. Like, are they going? Like, where are they dressed up going to? Like, where are they on their way to? The whole place is complete.
I like the black though. I really admire.
I love it. I
their
love the
choice of
black.
attire.
Yes, it's styling.
Forgoing
Smooth.
my bandana and my modern day boots, I could fit right in.
Yeah.
Give me a hat, and I'd wear this. Good day, my fine sir. To be like, oh, isn't he a great fellow? Look at him.
I would walk by him.
When the new building supposedly replaced an even earlier venue on the exact same site. So what happened to the first one? It opened in November of 1903 when the fire broke out 1 month later.
Whoa.
In December of 1903. 1 month later?
Today's got it.
The Masonic Temple was built in 1903, and then the fire happened 1 month later.
During a performance and caused 602 deaths and ranks as the #1 worst theater fire in the United States, even to this day. For nearly 100 years, this fire was the deadliest fire in one building in U.S. history, with September 11th now being #1. And get this theater was supposedly fireproof. 1 month after being opened, it burns down. This is incredible. And we have seen this exact story before from our St. Louis episodes. When they say that the fire started due to lighting the curtain on fire.
Yeah.
So this curtain starts on fire, and the fire exits were locked or hidden, which sounds like a planned event in my opinion.
Oh.
Even if this wasn't a planned event, let's think logically here.
Wait. They were locked or hidden. The fire, it was one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Then it's not the same thing.
That's great.
Locked and
then
hidden.
it opens up the
Yeah.
door. It opens up the door for all kinds of new regulations to be put in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah,
and all kinds of now. All kinds of like
keep going.
Permits, regulations, and then they have to come check on that. Contractors. It adds a whole level of basically messing with human lives.
Yep.
Making it more complicated than it needs to be.
I can dig it.
Which builds up after about 50 years, and then you snap. And then it becomes like a Pink Floyd movie. Like, I'm at a Pink Floyd show. I'm actually the Pink Floyd character now.
Spot on. Spot on tonight. Cinch Man is on fire.
All right. So what's next? You're gonna show the things I'm gonna show. You're gonna show. I'm gonna show the things you're gonna show.
Well, this is still got like
because you know.
Can you wait 3 minutes and you can show and then you can get into what you want to get into?
No, I just want to talk right
I
now.
have on that.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I want to get through this.
1871. During the Chicago fire, when 17,500 stone and brick buildings were magically burned to the ground, even though we know that stone and brick does not burn to the ground from house fires.
Yes.
Which is why...
There you go. Was it you that was saying it? Oh, no, it was Joe King that was saying it. Stone and brick. No, someone was saying it. No, it wasn't Joe King.
What are they saying?
Who's saying it? Stone and brick does not burn to the ground. Was it you earlier? Someone was
saying it again.
Stone and brick does not burn to the ground. From regular house fires. No, from regular house fires.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I have several to show. Yes.
When you see a house go up in flames, right?
I have regular house fires to show.
Yeah. But listen, when you
often they have toilets and tubs left, whole toilets and tubs, and that what you're saying too.
Yeah. But I'm saying, when you see a house fire, it's mostly the wood that burns and shit. Like, we don't see the fire actually burn stone.
Not down to the base, right?
But in these fires,
oftentimes,
the stone was completely gone.
Right. And you might find like a vase or something in the middle of a room untouched, or maybe just a little bit burnt, or some chair pieces, or metal parts, just things, whole wall standing, right? Not just flattened, poof, ash. Oh, and a gray colored ash. Weird.
You have
of course, I love the one
and brick fireplaces inside your
green trees. It's just beautiful.
Living room, and everyone all over the world remains extremely calm, and your neighbors don't seem to mind either. It doesn't and never will spread to their house or to the basement. It won't make your house look like a bomb went off. And I guess I should say don't try this at home, but come on, you get the point. Do you think that it's possible that they possibly by chance might not have been able to escape their homes, or they were maybe up too high in one of the buildings to escape? Do you think that a group of people may have had some trouble escaping their building? Do you think that it's possible that more than one of
those are real photos,
the 17,500 buildings somewhere in Chicago that look like they were exploded might have crumbled on top of someone? Or is it even possible that maybe a single issue might have came up anywhere, like this theater did, where the door was jammed? They say that the Chicago fire started at 8:30 p.m. Do you think that maybe some people were sleeping and didn't realize there was a fire until it was too late? Were there possibly some individuals that had a broken leg or were disabled? Was there not a hospital with people in it that possibly couldn't escape the smoke? And if they did, where did everybody go? The fire was supposedly engulfing the roads and spreading to the next building. All 300,000 people would have been burnt to a crisp if the mainstream history tale was true. It would have been one massive bonfire, yet basically everybody survived. My point is, how is it mathematically possible that one building kills 600 people, yet 17,500 buildings kill 300 people? At which point does everyone understand that we are being lied to? And the mainstream history from only 150 years ago is a lie. So how can you believe
500 degrees in my wood stove?
What's up?
I get my fire blazing to 500 degrees in my wood stove, and the wood stove doesn't melt. Well, obviously, because the melting point is higher than that. But I'm just saying.
But that's pretty
crazy, huh? It's like you can just blaze fire.
It's like molten lava in your wood stove.
Dude, so much. There was just a rack of red coals. I tossed a big wet, heavy log onto it. Poof! It's got fire. I was like, "Whoa!"
Believe something that the same.
Within a minute, it went poof. I was like, "What?" I dried it.
Look at this 1,000-year-old citadel that rises out of the Atlantic Ocean. This has been happening a lot. Like they're finding all kinds of underwater.
Okay, here's one.
Yeah,
I almost burnt down a forest once. As a kid, I was playing with fire, like checking out matches, like, and went down and caught like the pine needles and leaves, and it started to spread really fucking fast, dude. within 3 or 4 feet, and I'm stomped it all out, madly stomped it out. And I'm living in the forest. Bottom of my shoes were melted, and I was like panicked so hard because I know that place was really prone to fire, and I wasn't trying to catch anything on fire. I was just a dumb kid messing with matches, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa! And I just put it out. Never did that again. It's like, whew. No one ever knew about it till just now. Now the whole world knows. I never told anybody before.
Well, we should get it off your chest. Someone's here, I think.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. I feel so much better.
Hey, John Keeley, what's up?
John Keeley made me do it.
Have you been watching the program tonight?
So here's some matches. Try these, boy.
No, I just.
All right.
Keeley, my brother.
People are telling us about from over 1,000 years ago.
Well, welcome to the show. How's life?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, there you are.
Yeah. Anything exciting that anything going on in the life of John Keeley? No.
Yeah.
He gave me this sword.
Anything that you want to I don't know what you do today. Anything interesting?
John Keeley gave me this book.
And how can we believe anything that we're being told by this group of people that lie constantly? Nearly every single one of these great fires happened in the 1800s, right after the 1776 date.
Small talk, John Keeley, small talk. You know? All right.
Oh, I was just watching that today.
Oh, the one that came out today, right? I'm going to get to that one too, but Singe, man, I know how he is. He's like, he needs to get to his own. Go ahead, Singe.
I don't need to get anything. No.
Oh, you don't?
You can't sit there.
All right, we got one more.
We're sitting here showing off.
I thought you had
Oh, you want me to show my things?
Yeah.
You want to show it from your computer?
You can. Either way, dude. What do you think will work better? Share it to
That's weird because I have a better computer, but you have a better internet.
My internet got worse.
I'll try it. If there's nothing
from when I moved,
right?
Yeah, I had better internet in the city.
I will give it a try. It might work. You tell me if it's not working. Switch.
Either way, whatever works.
So, what did we just watch? We watched from the past. We watched fires from the past, correct?
Great fires.
Ooh. And were they so great? I mean, did people go, "Wow, that fire was so great, man"? That's great, dude.
No, they were not.
Yeah, the great fire.
It's like, can you remember that depression? Which depression? The great one or the okay one? The Great Depression. Oh yeah, the okay one was okay, but the Great Depression. Wow.
Those fires
need more Great Depression.
Those fires are definitely suspicious though, because.
So let me see what I have.
They all happen around this.
Definitely a great fire.
A worldwide timeline of the laser-directed energy weapons used worldwide. And then I will show you, because I haven't brought them up.
Hey, folks,
actual.
and welcome to another video from AplainTruth.info.
Pause. Then I will bring up. So I know I'm not showing you yet.
But
then I will bring up some.
So.
Actual documents of military.
Yeah, do it.
My dogs are going off right now.
Nice.
Something's out in my yard. Probably
how many dogs you got? How many? It sounds like you got 2.
We have 1.5. Because one's so small. Hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, here we go. We're on Restream now, so there's different buttons. Where is it? There it is. We go to the worldwide timeline. Now, this is a 12-minute video, and I might skip through a little part of it just because it gets kind of telling a little bit too much truth that we already know, but you'll know. You'll know when I get there.
That happened on the video I was playing earlier, too. Too much truth.
So, okay, when he gets in, he might say a President Mr. Seal Inton's name, that guy. Mm-hmm. He might say his name, and there's one other weird thing. It's not really, we never say anything bad, but I'm talking the algorithm might catch what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even the worst people on the don't even say anything bad. It's like
Yeah, I forget about that every
like
week.
freedom of speech, right?
2012. Two
No, I've
events,
heard some
June
really bad stuff.
2013,
Oh my God,
2012.
that's bad. And they get
You'll
totally
notice,
away with it.
I'll get
Like,
to it
wait
in a
a
minute.
second. I
It's
just
right
searched
next to the
something
United
like it.
States Air Force Academy. One
Okay, so
fire was
tell me
here and
if
the
the
other, the
screen
Black
showing
Forest
is not
fire was on the
using
other
this
side,
at
1
all.
year apart
It
exactly.
is showing. That's
And they
cool. I
did the
can
same
look at
thing
it.
towards
You can't
communities,
do that.
towards
It's showing.
suburbs. Seems
If
like
you
they're
go
going
down
after
to
suburbs.
you
And
can
look
make
at
it go
this,
full
United
screen
Air
if you
Force
go to the
Academy,
corner and
Colorado
click the
Springs.
box.
Right, we're
No, that's pretty cool. You can't do that on the other one
I know.
we were on. You can't view it
I
like
know.
that.
I know.
Okay,
You can
so
go like
we're going
this.
to
You
just,
can go like this.
how's this? Is that better?
Yeah, yeah. There you go. That's full screen, and then you can even make it full screen even more if you wanted to. Somehow. Oh, right here. This one. Look. Boom.
Oh, you can
Now-
do it on our screen.
No, it's
That's
it's
cool.
up.
Let's do
It's
that.
on top. Look, it's that arrow, that double arrow that says maximize, minimize on top of right there on top of the box.
I'll find it later. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll look for it in a minute. I'm busy over here. We got.
All right, press play. Press play.
Right here. And the sound. We got off.
Play it. Play it back.
Folks, and welcome to another video from aplaintruth.info. I put together a timeline of possible directed energy.
Reset it.
Hello, not of this world. What happened to the sound, Singe?
Hey, folks, and welcome to another video from aplaintruth.info. I put together a timeline of possible directed energy weapons being used around the world. Here in Sonoma County, Santa Rosa, back in October, we were attacked. Then Ventura, San Diego was attacked. But it's going on around the world, and I want to document that today.
Yeah, I had the sound.
Fort McMurray, Canada, where the fracking, the oil sands, the tar sands are going on right at its peak. The homes got peaked, and then I put together a timeline.
It looks the same as the Great Fire right there. Almost.
You can hear it? No, you can't
eerily
hear it.
similar. Yeah.
Hey, folks, and welcome to another video from
Trying to get the sound going.
I put together a timeline of possible directed energy weapons being used around the world. Here in Sonoma County, Santa Rosa, back in October, we were attacked.
I cannot hear it.
Then Ventura, San Diego was attacked. But it's going on around the world, and I want to document that today. So, glass is melted is one of the sure signs of this directed energy.
That's
and
weird.
I'm not quite sure if the Oklahoma City bombings back on April 19th of 1995 was included, but nearby, just like in Santa Rosa here, there's a military directed energy base, the Tinker Air Force Base, that uses directed energy weapons, avionics. It's possible. All right, New York City, we're pretty much are aware that this was a torched event. The dustification of cars, as Judy Woods pointed out. Judy Woods has been a major disappointment. I don't know what happened to her. She mind controlled. Well, she's been told not to talk about it, but she basically said the fires out here in California are rubbish about using directed energy weapons, which I find extremely odd and curious.
It's not working for me.
Iraq, highway of death. This goes on for miles, folks. There's pictures and pictures. It's ugly. Of course, they practice it overseas and then they bring it home. Just like biometrics, they started biometric IDing in Iraq. Now they're bringing it home to us. Afghanistan, torched cars. This is on June 2012. Two events, June 2013,
Stupid. Why can't I hear it?
2012. And you'll notice, I'll get to it in a minute, it's right next to the United States Air Force Academy. One fire was here and the other, the Black Forest fire, was on the other side, 1 year apart exactly. And they did the same thing, torched communities, torched burbs. Seems like they're going after suburbs. And look at this, United Air Force Academy, Colorado Springs, right where two torched fires were. Then we go into October of 2013 in San Diego. I originally thought this was Santa Rosa, but it's actually, a reader informed me it was down in San Diego. I looked it up, and sure enough, the trees are fine. Look at the asphalt here. Look at the lines through the asphalt. Doesn't that look like just like a razor?
like a laser came through, and then look at these trees. These are eucalyptus trees, folks. You breathe on them, they catch fire. Oh, and this home's fine, and those are torched. This home's fine. The grass is fine. Okay, so they've been working on us for a while. Then we go to Tianjin, China. Look at these. They say there were 2 explosions. Okay, look at the cars, completely torched. If there are explosions, the cars would be moved and turned over, just like we saw in Santa Rosa. These were torched. Then we moved to the beast fires in Alberta, Fort McMurray, Canada, where the fracking, the oil sands, the tar sands are going on right at its peak. The homes got peaked, and then they got torched. In Truth by Grace has a wonderful piece on this. Y'all put in the show notes. Then we go into November 2016 in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Again, one car torched, another one not. It goes on and on. Now we come to Madrid, Portugal. And this was in June of 2017. Cars torched, blamed on dry thunderstorms. 60 people just died in their cars. Then we hit here in the California storms on October 8th, 9th, 2017, middle of the night, over 60 fires, 11 counties. Cars torched. There's the Oakville Grade deep underground military base over in Napa, right nearby. We also have 4 avionic laser companies right here in Santa Rosa, including the former Hewlett-Packard one, which everywhere around it got torched, but the Agilent factory, they did not happen to get touched. Amazing. Cars flipped on their roof. Oh, it's a fire. Cardinal Newman School, Jesuit school. Look at the fire. That's that's a laser, folks. How could it do it? And look at how many fires they had all over. All started middle of the night, all at once. All still unexplained. Southern Cal, then, on December this last year, 2017. Look at all the fires again, folks. They all started somehow, but no one has an explanation for all the fire forensics guys. Same exact type of profile, okay? So this has been going on for a very long time. It's going to continue. Please spread this information out as best you can. I really, really appreciate it, and it really needs to get out. So in closing here, the ignition of the West Firestones by blue laser is hokum, according to Yoichi Shamatsu, exclusive to Rents. Jeff Rents is a shill, folks. Big time shill, just like the rest of them. Before signing off, turbulent, I note a passing on one of the past year's more noxious items of fake news deserves to be doused with a house down of cold reality. It's patently absurd of the blue laser weapon mounted on a U.S. military aircraft causing catastrophic firestorms in California and the Pacific Northwest. The actual cause, Mr. Shimatsu says, is of radioactive fallout from the Fukushima. Where's the Fukushima radiation, folks? May 2011? Where's the radiation, folks? Doesn't happen, just like doesn't happen in Hiroshima and Nagasaki 75 years later. Where's the radiation? Chernobyl, they're having tourist events in Chernobyl now. Where's the radiation? Look it up. Sinister campaign of rational fear-mongering on YouTube or video post by a plaintruth.info. That'd be me. Sponsored by the Pentecostal Church of God in Salem, Oregon. Holy cow, I've never been there. This is slanderous, but you can claim what you want on YouTube. The absurd claim from the cult is that the firefighting aircraft are actually disguised military planes deployed to set fires to homes with directed energy weapons. This makes zero sense that a cash-strapped Pentagon, cash-strapped, would torch its tax base in America's richest state. Common sense to the crazy.
Yes? You there?
These cultists. Psychological warfare campaign against shocked homeowners, depressed survivors who lost loved ones to the blaze, and mortgage holders whose insurance claims can nowhere near match the cost of rebuilding with proven fires, and they're blaming it on the video hysterics. No, it's called proof, sir. These online psyops are designed to spread disinformation, promote paranoia, induce mental illness, all to confuse and divert the public from taking legal action to redress the source of insurmountable losses, which of course the corrupt coalition of real estate developers, mortgage lenders, insurance companies, nuclear industry, state and federal governments have all denied the catastrophic impact of radio releases from Fukushima, where blah, blah, blah. And this idiot goes on to say, blue lasers are used like Blu-ray DVDs. Red lasers are used for focus heat weapons to explode missiles or planes in flight, as happened in TWA 800 in 1996. So he's admitted they could shoot down planes with focused energy, but it's a red beam, not a blue beam. And just to further that this Shimatsu guy is just a complete idiot who doesn't do any research, and Jeff Rentz publishing it is quite a bit the same. So this is just some of the comments I've. Morning. Blue light, that was real fast. Blue light flashes. We've got comments on comments. And here's more comments. Blue laser light, blue flashes, bright blue. Blue flashes, blue lasers. These are all comments from people on the ground observing. Empirical evidence. Potter Red Fire saw blue streaks. Goes on and on, folks. I live in Santa Rosa and saw blue light on Sunday at 1:30 at night. So did I.
Oh, it's too busy.
So the red eye, the next misinterpretation is taken from a helicopter claiming a disguised military plane fire a laser beam. No, we never said it was a disguised military plane. It was just a helicopter firing it, sir. Trigger the fires below. However, the beam is red, not blue. Well, I already went over the different colors and the temperatures for them. Weaponized red lasers in a milliseconds burst out a high-energy pulse. Yeah, 200,000 billion, 200 billionths of a second, they can fire 2 trillion watt energies. What could be its purpose? Remote sensing or ground observation is the reason for we're seeing red lasers.
Whatever you want to
so
do.
he's admitting there's a laser used on the helicopter, but then he calls it a spotter plane is used to determine forward speed and direction. See how they confuse it? Yeah. Helicopter changes it to spotter plane.
We'll make it.
10th anniversary of the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster, the cause of which can be traced to a laser gun anti-missile test done on re-entry off California coast against a rising rocket over the White Sands test ground in New Mexico. The power supply in Americum 242 nuclear isotope generator overheated and blew apart the shuttle's fluid tank and oxygen supply, breaking apart the spacecraft and killing all the astronauts on board. Is that right,
so
sir?
Crazy.
Killed all the astronauts on board, except they happen to be still alive. Here they are in their pictures.
So crazy
Put
how
them
similar.
in the show notes. The Challenger crew is still alive.
Oh, is he done talking about the fire?
Shit article. The perpetrators of the false laser claim owe a retraction and apology to the wildfire victims. Firefighting pilots, chief of staff are wrongly being accused. The culprit is the horrific
space. Okay, let's tell him we're out in space.
All right,
actually,
he's done.
Is.
What
technically, everywhere is space, right? I'm in a space right now, so they're like laughing, going, this way we're not really lying to them, so we can stay within the parameters of our weird pact.
What
we're
else?
not really lying to them because we are in space. Everybody's in space, so like they're like, ha ha ha, we're not lying.
What else do you got for us, James? What else you got?
Did it end?
Yeah. Well, he was talking about NASA and flat Earth, and he was going off. Yeah, go ahead. What else you got? What's next?
Oh, well, see, I told you. You didn't. Told you, right? You didn't believe me.
I did believe you.
I told you.
It was good. It was good.
And he goes off, but then he gets good again, but it's not good enough to keep going. So
I don't want to sit through the whole thing.
It was cool. We got the gist. These guys are just guys. Paradise fires.
It's crazy how these fires look the same as the Great Fires. The Great Fires are like intentional. We know the Great Fires were intentional, and it's all lies, and everything that started them was a lie.
I'm gonna go out and come back.
How did they say?
Okay, because I wanted my sound to work this time. I'll be right back.
Yeah, because you can't hear me anyway, so do it.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, you can hear me?
I just can't hear the video.
Well, I'm going to share this one real quick, and then you bring yours back.
Yeah,
this is only a few minutes long.
Which was when the USA began. The main Great Fire that predates this 1776 date falls on 1666, which is the London Great Fire, which is where the USA originally came from. And I'm guessing, based on all of my research, that this date of 1666 is a code and not a real event. Because I'm about to take this thing to a whole nother level from this point until the end of the episode. And we are going to destroy their narrative. So I hope you all have your popcorn ready. It's time to make our own history. Here we go. The Great Fire of London in 1666 destroyed 13,200 houses, 87 parish churches, the Royal Exchange, Guildhall, and St. Paul's Cathedral. 13,200 houses. So there must have been thousands of casualties. right? 6 people died in the Great Fire of London. And this is when we know we have found something huge. When we go to New York, where they had the Great Fire of New York, destroying 700 buildings. And which
The Great Fire of London, the Great Fire of New York.
year was that in again? I forget. Can somebody clear this up for me? Am I right? Or am I definitely right? That this operation worldwide began in 1776. The Great Fire of New York happened in 1776, holding only 2 deaths, covering 700 buildings. 2 people died in the entire Great Fire of New York. 700 buildings, and only 2 people in 1776. So what's the total at? We have 1 building in Chicago holding 600 deaths. I have shown 3 great fires so far: Chicago, New York, and London, with a total of 308 deaths that have a total of 31,490 buildings destroyed. We have also shown that when you knock a building down or 2 in 2001, this kills people. In fact, it kills thousands of people. This is impossible for 31,490 buildings to be engulfed in flames, with basically nobody dying. 308 deaths, to be exact. If you trusted the mainstream narrative before today, this day will be the final day that it is trusted ever again. Because in 1916, Paris, Texas also had a great fire.
Wow, the Great Fire of Paris, Texas, 1916. I never heard of this one. Fire burned for 10 hours, destroying everything in its path. 264 acres, 1440 buildings.
Destroyed everything in its path besides people, because it destroyed 1,440 old world buildings where only 3 people died, moving the total old world buildings that were destroyed up to 32,930. 32,930 buildings.
Everyone post, share, let people know we're here.
Gone. And could you imagine what these buildings, what these cities looked like, with the mainstream narrative admitting that these buildings were all here, and now they're gone. So again, 32,930 buildings are gone, with a total of now only 311 deaths, making this extremely clear that we are being lied to about something. Either the death totals were actually way higher than what we're being told, or these cities were basically empty. I've had a lot of people comment that they want me to include Canada and incorporate it into my research, and I can't wait to do that right now.
Nice.
Toronto, Canada, you're up. You had a great fire in 1904, destroying over 100 old world buildings. We know these were built by a much more advanced
Great Fire of Toronto, right there.
previous civilization. Buildings that would make...
Dude, we're gonna cover like a whole bunch of great fires tonight. We're covering more. I have a whole bunch. We're gonna go over.
0 sense in our fabricated mainstream historical timeline, where we are given a massive fire, destroying everything in its path, with a total of 0 deaths. Nobody, not a single person, not one person inhaled too much smoke for 2 to 10 minutes. In a great fire that took down over 100 buildings. In 1852, we are given the Great Fire of Montreal, Canada.
All right, well, we'll get to that one. Singe, well, you got yours up yet? No? All right, get to the next one then, real quick. And then he'll be ready by then, probably.
Hold on, yeah, go for one more.
All right,
you got another old one, or you want to go?
Yeah, I got one more. No, there's one more.
One.
No, I'm saying if you got one, if you got something you want to play, then you can play yours. But if not, there's only these.
Yeah, let's go to the. Want to go to Paradise Fires?
Yeah. Do that, and then we'll go back to this. Okay. After. Go ahead.
So that's old.
If you're a business owner,
old fires. Then we'll go to new fires. Share screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Just get mine out of here.
Paradise Fires. Also share audio tab.
Is this it? I don't know.
Share.
Yeah, that is it. All right. Go ahead. Yeah. Nice. Dude, it automatically cancels.
Oh, I can't hear it again.
I can't hear it. I can't hear it this time.
Oh, good.
I can't hear it this time.
At least it's not just
no, it's not just you.
Well, can you share it then?
I'll share it. Put it in the
problems.
put it in
Just
the
like I
private
said,
chat.
if I have problems, you're gonna have to share it.
Put it in the private chat.
It's in there.
It is.
It is. I'll just put it in again, fresh. So
Which one is it? BitChute? No.
It's the SCM C41 701-102.
That's not there, dude. It's gone. I don't
Yeah,
see
it's
it.
there.
It's not there for me. I only got 4 of them.
Okay, here it is.
3 of them.
It's the last one. Here, I'll do it again.
Yeah. Oh, all right. I see it. The archive one.
There you go.
Yeah. Is that why it won't play? Because it's off the thing? Let me see.
No, I'm just disappointed.
Let me see. Yeah, let's see.
Something
if it works for
happened.
me.
I might have to.
This is my first attempt at using this.
I might have messed something up with my audio.
Let's see.
Obviously, I did.
Look, it's not. It's buffering for me too. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Is this gonna work?
Warning.
Nice.
Watch this channel now. That's you.
I'll work on my audio. Sorry.
Always pursuing truth brings you topics of truth for you to view, peruse, and pursue. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You handle.
Let's go.
And welcome, folks. Welcome to Call for Investigation. Especially JHS usually hosts this. Well, I'm here, Donald.
He looks legit. He looks legit.
JD Consultants are live.
He sounds cool.
22nd of February, 222.
I like him.
So it's
I like him.
here. And we have for you, definitely have 2020 vision. This is where you're going to get the straight shot about what's hot. And what's hot right now is that I have special guests here. I have Cody.
I did not listen to this one. Sorry.
And
did not
they
check this one.
want to talk a little bit. Especially John has been eyewitness, and he's a fire investigator down in California.
I love how we don't
And
vet
he's
nothing.
He's been finding us in trouble in paradise. So,
well, I
John,
usually
why don't you
do.
take over and
I know.
Cody, you can make
Look
comments
really
or
quick.
I know.
whatever you want to do here.
All right, Don, can you hear me okay?
Looking
Okay,
fine.
great.
Yeah.
So my name's John Lord. I am a 28-year veteran of the fire service. And
Nice.
a couple years ago, it's got probably pushing 3 now, became very alarmed about the Tubbs fire and the evidence that I was seeing surrounding the Tubbs fire, which was the one that burned into Santa Rosa and leveled neighborhoods and left the trees alone.
Mm-hmm.
So started looking really closely and digging into the evidence, and couldn't find evidence that would support that the forest was the major component that spread the fires from the houses. The houses were completely decimated. All contents were gone. And the only way you could make out that a house was there is what was left of the stem wall foundation.
Yeah. See, you can see the foundations there. I'm going through a few pictures quickly. Then we're going to go to your slide, John.
Okay.
But I think it's something else. And how what did it do? The cars? Is that a normal fire? Or does that?
Well, we're going to talk. We're going to talk about the cars some more in a bit.
But it looks like land reform to me. How they can wipe out whole villages, and that doesn't look like a normal forest fire. House fires. Yeah.
Well, in the Tubbs fire, the trees didn't burn at all. They were still green.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what you could.
Maybe some of them did in different areas, but in the neighborhoods, you could see those green trees still standing there.
Yeah. How about that? I call that land reform. That's caused by directed energy weapons and smart meters, I believe. So anyway, I guess I'll stop by sharing here and let you show what's hot on your end. Okay.
Okay. So subsequent to that, we've had several other fires that kind of piqued my interest, and I was kind of nosing around for information on those on the internet and whatnot. And then it led me up to the time of we've experienced the ranch fire and the river fire that burned from west to east.
All these guys,
toward
this is what we look like when we get old.
Very threatening.
We have white beards.
Went under mandatory evacuation.
I
was not able to get back in here for 5 days. So I'm going to talk about some of the evidence I saw with those 2 fires. And
But this guy's the other dudes are really in the.
Those were after the Paradise fire.
Yeah, and
the Paradise fire is what we're going to be looking at today.
Guys know what to say.
The evidence that I took over 300 pictures up there, and we're going to be looking at some of them.
Yeah. No, that Paradise Fire. That
and they're
Paradise
not
was
getting
a nice
paid
city
for it. They have
on a
nothing to
sort of
gain
on a
by
hill, right?
lying. It's just like
Yeah, it's up on a bluff.
Yeah, and I understand there's something underneath that hill. It's the sort of yellowish. It's called gold. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I believe the biggest nugget ever discovered in California was in Magalia, which is part of that area, the northern part of Paradise. So, and understand that Paradise has a population sign on the outskirts of the city that says 27,000.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 27,000 people up there. We're talking about more like 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you consider all the surrounding areas and all the development that has taken place in the rural areas all around it, you're probably talking about 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And I don't believe all those people have been accounted for.
No, I don't think most of them.
Sandy,
I bet you about 90%
it would be cool to
haven't
share
been.
this with like
it's pretty bad there.
drone footage.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Of the actual what they're talking about, you know.
So that's a little bit on my background.
Do the work for them. Do the work. For them. Make it better. You can do better.
Screens whenever you're ready.
All right. There's 5 hours.
No, it gets better. They're just talking right now.
Videotapes I did with supposedly Shelley. Those can
boots
be
on the ground in a
found on
second.
YouTube, and where
they're gonna show stuff
over.
All right.
The evidence.
Yeah, they get
really,
boots on the ground.
really,
All right, because I was about to do it
in detail.
Oh yeah, Andy's coming on.
Let's say hi to Cody. Why don't you give us a little bit of your
if you can get on,
background,
Andy.
Cody?
Well,
what Andy's doing right now is exciting. He's taking the Greyhound bus from Peter Pan or whatever from Montana to Michigan, dude. And he's been filming his whole ride. And if he comes on, we'll show it. Some of it, not all of it, but
all right.
Black Ops contractor
Boot
for a long time
on the ground.
Years, but yeah, my story's been all over.
Let the grown men talk, Cinch.
You can see me on John B. Wells' show. Dave Hodges' shows, X-22 Report. We've done a lot of things. Cody Snodgrass. You can see our website.
Black operator for the CIA.
All my stuff's there. I just want to focus more on John, and I had a lot of questions for him today.
Okay,
about
so let's go.
Black Ops.
What's been going
CIA.
on to cause these fires.
Right.
This guy talking?
Demarcation lines, how perfect they are, the evidence that there may have been new weapons and or drones or aerial platforms, microwave lasers,
what's going on?
sodium-based lasers, so forth, as ignition sources for these fires, and the asymmetric way in which
looks like the Great Fire.
Normal, from what I understand, and then how they
a little more
also tie
abnormal
into the Agenda 21 maps.
Right.
I've seen some stuff where they overlay right over, almost matching perfectly, what the Paradise Fire was. So I know that's a lot of questions, but I just wondered, on top of all these pictures and everything that's going on, if John could tell us what he saw for evidence, not just wild conspiracy theories, but evidence that would point.
See that tree in the middle, right?
Non-symmetric causes for these fires, like kids playing with matches and stuff like that. Right?
I'm looking at. I got it on the big screen. I don't know about you.
Let's go into it.
Okay, Don. And Cody, we will get to all that.
Yeah.
All your questions.
There we look at it. Overly melted.
So this was off of Skyway Boulevard, and if you look closely at it, you could see the tree basically fell over. It burned from the inside out, and the unburned wood that you see on the outside of the root system is just finally the weight of the tree just overcame that and pulled it down. And
that
looking
points
beyond
that might be coming from the
area,
ground.
You see that there's no
in a microwave type
energy.
Everybody thumb this up. Everybody post it, share it. Let's fill this room up.
Right?
Well, no, the ground phenomena I'm going to talk about a little bit, but I'll introduce it here. The destruction
I'm
of
telling
what
you, we just warming up.
should have been on the ground, and there should have been pockets of unburned
This
materials.
is coming from the ground.
Because any type of a normal fire does not take out everything.
Started at the
It'll leave
roots,
little pockets
basically,
here
so
and
that's
there
in
where
the
it doesn't
ground. So it's
burn.
coming from the ground.
It's a sort of usually it's a irregular burn pattern, but
it doesn't mean it's not coming
you
from
can
the
see
sky
some
too.
green grass coming up because this is
putting the
this
link
is a
out for
while
anybody
after
that
the
wants to
fire
join.
occurred. But what I was able to see is that 100% of the combustible materials on the ground were incinerated.
Okay.
And what I didn't see was any evidence that the
Toilets,
fire was traveling through the
tubs,
upper parts of the screen.
Yeah.
tile,
Okay. Wow.
metal,
So
beams.
that's that one. Matt and I saw examples of this hundreds and hundreds of times up there.
Wow.
Again, burning at the base of the tree.
Oh, someone's there.
So the trees that we saw up there consistently burn from the inside out, from down close to the earth, up on the inside of the
Whoever
tree.
it is isn't coming in all the
So
way.
would that be consistent, John, with a non-standard ignition sequence like from
it's Andy.
a microwave?
It wasn't coming
would
through
heat
all the way, Andy.
inside of the tree.
Try
and the
again.
water
He's
and
talking
nutrients in the
important
tree,
words right now.
and then make the fire come out.
Yes.
He said it was
Well,
microwave. Is that
to understand
is that
that?
microwave?
Go ahead, Shadow. We'll wind it a little.
Let's go back 30 seconds.
And then make the fire come out.
Yes. Well, to understand that phenomena better, I guess
do
we
it
should
again.
talk about chemtrails. The three
Hold on.
burning at the base of the tree.
Nice. See, everything comes into play.
So these
Yeah, I know.
That's why you
trees that
don't
we
lie.
saw out
That's
there.
why you
I know.
don't
That's what I was
lie.
trying to. That's what I was trying to show earlier with the reset theory, the whole mass thing, the whole chemtrails, the mud flood, the meltology, and
that's
it's all. It's all.
That's why our
connected to
grandparents taught us not to lie, because you weave a web of lies that you can't get out of.
Yes.
And even if it takes 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, whatever, eventually their live web will just be like
the mind
everywhere.
control.
Consistently burn from the inside out, from down close to the earth, up on the
Andy's
inside
trying
of
to
the
get
tree.
in.
So would that be consistent, John, with a non-standard ignition sequence like from a microwave? That would heat the inside of the tree, with water and nutrients in the tree, and then make the fire come out.
So the microwave will heat the inside of the tree and make the fire come out. Singe Man, you there? Am I alone?
Yeah, I'm having doing things. What?
No, go ahead. Explain microwaves.
Why? That's what he was doing.
Yes. Well, to understand that phenomena better, I guess we should talk about chemtrails. The three primary ingredients of chemtrails are aluminum,
barium, strontium,
in nanoparticulate form. And all three of those metals are combustible. So if they're spraying them into the atmosphere and they're eventually falling to the ground and into the foliage of the tree, that your highest concentration of aluminum in the tree is.
I've seen them like that
in the root systems.
You see how it's like black and
in the lower part of the
tree,
tree,
lower part
uptake,
and a little up the side.
So we believe that was a factor involved with this.
That's cool.
Really?
Not cool, but
so chemtrails up in the
how you can see
sky
it.
are affecting fires from the ground, because chemtrails have got these metals that seem to be. It just sounds weird how that could be correlated, but things happen here. Go ahead.
I want to point this out down here, because see how this is kind of hollowed out down here.
Yeah.
There would be those in my profession that would argue that this was a rotten spot in the tree, and that's how the fire got in.
Right.
I just want to point that out, but I'm going to show you other examples where that was not present.
Okay.
So what you're saying, John, is that the geoengineering or the chemtrail spraying that we all see, like that picture behind on right now, we've seen the patterns. they've been doing the weather modification and everything else, but the what do they call them, suffocants or desiccants that are falling down, the trees are uptaking them in their roots.
Yes.
All
Trees,
right.
yeah, trees and whatever else is grown in the forest.
And it changes the way they naturally burn.
Well, if you take a
Wow,
burrito
look at that.
and you shove a couple of nails into it and put it in your microwave for a couple minutes, you're going to see the light works in it.
Oh,
because
it looks like, I don't know, like if you took a piece of lasagna.
Also, the
stuck it in
burrito
the
won't get
microwave.
hot only around the nails because all the mass energy will be attracted to the nails instead
Singe,
of the burrito.
Singe, the way it looks is
Right.
like, it looks like if you took like a piece of lasagna and stuck it in the microwave and like cooked it too long. You know, the whole earth, the way it's like, the way it looks, dude, to me.
Because the metal is going to heat up
right there
a lot faster than the rest of the burrito. Okay, but
sure.
if you try any
that's what I'm saying,
experiments
the metal will
like
get
that,
hot.
be real careful.
It's where the mass is. So
Uh-huh.
the energy is drawn to the
By the
mass
way,
of the
with microwaves
root
do
base.
cook meat, don't they? And I think aren't there microwaves that are
Car
being used
motors.
in other applications,
Car rims.
like cell phones and other things.
Yeah, that makes
can
sense
start
now.
cooking your meat if you get them too close
Nuts.
and cause cancer and other problems. Aren't
There's
microwaves?
Whoa. Look
there's
at those
all kinds
cars.
of stuff like that. I only use.
Look how the cars are cooked. Look at the inside. Look at the like, what do they call it? The electronics.
My cell phone on speaker phone.
Yeah.
I don't put it up against my head.
Oh, come on now. I can't hear you. But yeah, so that is something. And so I know somebody who has a laptop. She has it on her lap a lot, and she all of a sudden has got cancer of her lap. That's sort of correlation
Yeah,
there.
that's not
Is that
good
you,
at
Singe,
all.
man?
Especially
You
in
sharing?
pre.
No.
Okay. What happened? Why is the screen? Why did it do that? No, that's yeah, it is. That's your screen. Hold on. Yeah, that's your screen, Singe. For some reason. All right, there it goes. Yeah, your screen came up and killed mine. I was like, why is it got a different screen?
Adolescent and adolescent children, because they're
Let's see if I can speed this up
they're
a little.
basically
What happens?
microwaving their reproductive organs.
Well, the kids are just growing. The cells
That's
are really
better.
susceptible. They're growing actively and expanding, and I think they're more susceptible to interference by wavelengths like microwaves. And I guess these microwave lengths are about similar to what our body, which is has a nervous system that has energy in it, and those wavelengths are almost about the same frequency. So they're interfering quite readily with the growth pattern. And I don't know, as I see on the TV a lot, ads for children that are in hospitals, kids with cancers. Kids that never had cancers when I was a kid.
Right. Well, the other thing is that we're breathing in these nanoparticulate metals.
Yeah.
So basically, I believe part of the agenda is they're trying to turn us into antennas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
they are.
various purposes.
Yeah, definitely trying to turn us into antennas.
Can you see the picture of the pasture?
Oh, sure.
A couple of interesting things about this. Number one, it says organic pasture. Okay. See the fence post? Fence post there, that was in contact with wire. So consistently we're seeing that fence posts that were in contact with wire or other steel fasteners. You can see where the heaviest concentration of heat was is right here at the top. And the other thing is that this was on Skyway
Thank you,
Boulevard,
Andy.
going
We love
from
you too.
Chico up toward Paradise. And remember I was talking about the amount
This
of
is good stuff, Singe.
precipitation
Good
on the
job.
ground,
Good
ground
job.
rules.
Yeah.
Everything organic that was on the ground whenever what energy went through here did this was completely consumed. And we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of acres that look like this. And this is a relatively flat area. So, and you'll also notice that trees in the background are undamaged.
Yeah, wow.
How long after the fire, John, was this picture taken? Roughly?
This was in December, so it was about a month afterwards.
Okay.
So these photos here were taken on December 2nd. The ones
And
we're
that
looking
fence,
at right
that
now.
fence post, was it wood or was it some kind of plastic or metal?
No, it was wood.
Wood with the wire.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Barbara
I was showing these to Dawn earlier. and we're going to get into talking more about these. Notice anything about the guardrails, Cody?
Guardrails look very polished and very clean, like they're new to me.
Like they're brand new, like they were just put up. This is on December 2nd. It was less than a month after the fire. I forget the exact date of the fire. So
these were put up after the fire?
Okay.
Yes.
So
So these would very likely have been wood posts, and the fuels below them would have been very light and not been able to destroy the posts like they did. So, and we'll talk about more of that as I go along. But huge areas, miles and miles of brand new guardrails were installed very quickly after the fire. And I believe that was a destruction of evidence.
Yeah.
So you think if a microwave device of some kind was used to ignite the fires, then the metal on these guardrails would absorb it, of course, a lot more and really heat up, then burn the wood posts under it. So to cover up that, they just went ahead and put in new guardrails.
Exactly. They removed all the old ones and put in brand new guardrails with steel posts now.
Okay.
Okay. And as we move along in the discussion, I'll show you some more pictures of the evidence of the guardrails. But the guardrail destruction I've seen with the Tubbs fire, the two fires I mentioned up here, the river and the ranch fire, the car fire, which was the Redding fire up here in Paradise, and also in some of the fires around the Sierra foothill. So the reason I point that out is because the conclusion that I'm drawing is that whatever they're using, whatever technologies or combination of technologies to cause these fires is consistent. And that's true with the guardrail destruction, the way the trees are burning, the cars, the destruction of the cars.
Yeah.
So this is a detailed shot of a rather large stump. I don't know, probably 40 inches in diameter. And this was chainsaw cut after the fire. And how they knew that this thing burned on the inside, I haven't a clue. But you can see it's burned out like you would make a drum. And right here at the top of this stump is only maybe 12 or 14 inches above the parking lot surface.
Okay.
I'll show you another picture of it. This one I was fortunate because I managed to catch a video where they had, it was this one, Dawn, where they had fallen the tree after the fire, and the tree was still laying in this direction, kind of parallel with that bike rack there.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt and I saw very little.
Buffer.
Ryan, shake it.
All right. I'm gonna do some bouncing back and forth. Let's see. I want to show this one real quick. We're gonna do bouncing back and forth. We're gonna see if you guys can tell the difference. Pretty soon you're gonna be like, what? You know, like what's the difference?
What is the difference? What are you talking about?
Between yeah, exactly, Singe. Exactly. I just leave it at that.
Between the Maui fire?
Where's the sound?
1,000 people.
No, between great fires and directed energy.
Where it left 10,000 people homeless, when 57,000 people in 1852 had hundreds of buildings, which isn't logical at all, or isn't mathematically probable in itself. If you think that Donkeys Incorporated saddled up in the early half of the 1800s and knocked out massive...
What up, Rasta? How you doing, man?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm good, man. What's
happening, Rasta?
Yeah,
Welcome.
man.
I can't complain tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not
Welcome
complaining.
to Fantasy Island.
Yeah, man.
No complaints from me.
Yeah, it was my my birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday!
So now
That's weird because out of the blue, I'm like, I'm gonna make Rasta Bear a bear in Rasta colors, and I did yesterday.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't know it was your
Rasta.
birthday.
Well,
That was
I
probably
appreciate
why.
that.
So it's
All
gonna
right,
be a
Rasta,
shirt.
I got
soon.
you. I got you, Rasta.
Yeah, it'll be a shirt, bro.
Yep, that's phenomenal. It's most phenomenal. I'll have to check out the bear.
I have
you
a
made.
plastic bear. And
I
I
was
scanned
just-
it. I put it on my
I was-
scanner and I scanned it in, and it came out great. I'm like, that's cool.
I was actually just yesterday. I just pulled out of my backpack the Grateful Dead berry you sent me.
Real quick, Rasta. This is for you.
nice.
This is for you, Rasta.
All right.
Oh, is he gonna play? Don't glitch out on me. Come on. You gonna glitch out on me? I heard him. Life's been in motion from the time of your birth. Putting that static is this stationary earth. Some say is a lap around the sun. But we who seek the truth know that's completely wrong. Happy flat birthday to you. Happy flat birthday to you. Happy flat birthday, Rasta Bear. Happy flat birthday to you. Gone. This expensive name is the best gift you've been given, providing everything you'd want or need for good living. Here's to you for spreading truth and the good work that you've done. All the best on the next few hundred revolutions of the sun. Happy flat birthday to you. Rasta Bear, Rasta Bear. Happy flat birthday to you. Rasta Bear. Happy flat birthday, dear Rasta Bear. Happy flat birthday to you. Happy flat birthday to you. Happy flat birthday to you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's good enough for the World Economic Forum to display, I would think. Or even Ben Shapiro could turn that into a rap or something. That'd be great.
She's awesome. So
I love the political world, how fake it is, and people are so into it, and just like
cities for only 57,000 people.
love it.
I think it's
What
time
you
to
gotta do next?
reconsider what you've been told. When within
No,
a few
you are.
hours, 1/4 of Montreal was destroyed. And yet
No,
again,
you guys
nobody
are here.
died. Nobody. Destroying almost half of the city's houses. In 1852, they all evacuated perfectly and ran to safety.
Deserve it, Ron.
Everybody? Not a single person had an issue? Do you understand what it would take for a fire to spread from house to house rapidly? We all understand that this fire would be massive. I know I'm being brutally honest, but a lot of people would have died. This would have been extremely catastrophic. This would
Yeah, nobody just.
not be a case of 0 deaths.
Zero
In
deaths.
fact, it would have been nowhere near 0 deaths, and we all know this. This narrative of 0 casualties is simply not the true history of our past, where we are also told that 1,100 houses burned
Wow, the numbers don't add up.
down. Nobody had an issue getting away from these fires. Not a single person.
The whole place is wrecked, but nobody died, dude. Nobody died.
Fires that supposedly swept the streets to spread to the next house over and over in 1852. How were they just escaping the situation? You would think that somebody would have died from inhaling too much smoke. Now, this tells us 1,100 houses burned down, but leaves out the buildings. So let's just estimate that it was around the same as Toronto. adding another 100 buildings to that 1,100, moving the total buildings destroyed from these great fires to 34,230 buildings destroyed and only 311 casualties. And remember, there are hundreds of great fire narratives that happen in a city near you. The mainstream history is suggesting that we are supposed to believe at this point that 110 buildings have to go down in flames for us to record one death. When we can look over at the Maui fire that just happened when we were all around to see it in 2023, fully documented, where a fire doesn't care what year it is, whether it's 1852 or 2023, a fire is a fire. When 2,200 structures were damaged or destroyed in Maui, and 100 people passed away, meaning that for every 22 buildings destroyed, we recorded a death. This is in 2023, when we have proper training, we have firefighters, we have cars to attempt to escape, we have phones to alert other people, yet so many more people died in 2023 versus the 1800s. If this was one death per 22 buildings destroyed in these great fires, we would be at a much more realistic death total of 1,555 deaths, which is 1/5 the amount that we're being told, when realistically it should be flipped.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to get to that in a second. So
We should
hold that thought.
realistically have
I wanna
less
get into
death today per building than they would in the 1800s, since we have cars, phones, proper firefighters, and the rest. To say that zero people in the 1800s died from a great fire that swept through the entire city, leaving the end result looking like massive bombs went off multiple times, is mathematically impossible. This is not a realistic narrative at all.
No.
And now that we have looked into this, compared it to other situations, shown factual evidence that they are lying in all of this, I want to give my opinion on what happened. I think that the population worldwide was basically zero in the early 1800s. And I'm going to go into great detail on this in an upcoming
Nice.
episode.
The population was 0 in the 1800s. What do you guys think about that? All right, so
I think there's a few different things that that could be. They could have evacuated them all and put them in camps before then. It could have already been, the extinction level event took place,
Right.
where they either starved them out of the city and provided, told them to come here and they would get food.
So let me just play devil's advocate. So you guys, all right. So you guys all believe that the directed energy thing is real, Judy Wood type shit. They can have space lasers come out of the friggin' sky and blow things up.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't personally think that, like Judy Wood said, that's what happened to the Twin Towers. I think that's where she goes a little bit overboard there. Because I think that, they already had the explosives, as a controlled demolition type, situation there. But here, yes, I've seen too much. I mean, I've been following this ever since, before even the Paradise.
Well, all right. Well, listen to this then. So if they weren't faking it, right, then why is there videos like Maui actors on how do fires? Like, why is there crisis actors? All right. Look at this. This was the Maui thing, right?
Wait, okay, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now you can say your Maui thing, and I'll show my Maui thing.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna get into Maui.
Why would
get
there be
into Maui.
crisis actors? Let's see.
Yeah,
Because
let's watch it. And then you can answer it.
they need crisis actors.
today
Not 100% sure. They gotta
Our unit is saved.
cover your bases.
People would come there and go, "You're a legend. You're a hero." And I go, "I just did it because I love you guys. I just wanted to save as much as I could because I love people and this is what I do. This is what I do." No sirens went off. There was no alert about the fire. So in the very beginning, we see small kind of fire up in the mountains. And it happens all the time. It just had happened a couple months ago. It happens all the time. It just had happened a couple months ago. And so me and Christian started playing chess, just like it's a
Christian.
normal day. And then all of a sudden, the fire just got bigger and bigger. And then it just started coming all around us. He was on his electric one wheel. I call it a bowling ball.
I can't hold
So
it together anymore.
I saw some dude fires on the way out, and I'm yelling, Christian, but he couldn't hear me.
I was trying to keep
so
it
he
straight.
kept on going. So I stopped and put out the dude. These fires, and then I went back down Front Street as bumper to bumper and dude. Fires everywhere, and I can't find my son. So I think my son's dead. So I'm
How dare you?
I'm going back to the fire, and I'm gonna be a fireman.
And how much more?
It's not that long.
Praying not one cylinder land on these two
It's a little bit longer.
buildings.
It's longer than I thought.
I could have saved the third one, another 20 units, but
Just let the guy get his voice out, okay? He just had a dramatic thing happen. Look at his face.
ran out. I stole 20.
Yeah, it wasn't just now.
He was just through the
fire
fire.
extinguishers from
It happened a
across
while
the
ago. Get over
I
it.
stole 20 fire
Leave him alone.
extinguishers from across the street, and I started putting out stew. Bought fires and everything everywhere.
Everyone's dumping up. Post, share.
It was so crazy. It's like a
Why would he say he stole the
tourist
fire
comes by and taking a
extinguishers?
picture of the dead guy in the
Didn't he just
driveway, and I'm all, what are
take
you
him?
doing? You can't do that. That's
He's stoned.
disrespectful.
But he's
You
brainwashed.
can't do that. That's disrespectful. So I went and I got a blanket out of my apartment, and I covered him, and I put some rocks on him so the wind wouldn't blow the blanket off of him. And I said a prayer, and I said, Jesus, I don't know this man, but he didn't deserve to die like this. And please take him to heaven, because he deserves to go to heaven, because he died the most.
You're gonna continue to show it? Okay. God,
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Let's show mine. Mine's better.
Hold on, no. What is
yours.
it?
I'm
I know.
better than yours.
Ash for 2
Hold
nights.
your horses.
kidding.
Hold your
3
horses.
days I was down there.
No.
Then finally my son
It's up.
paddled
Look at
boards
the
down from
footage.
Conopoli Beach to Lahaina, drops his board off at Mola
I'm
Ramp
enjoying
and
this.
runs to our apartments, and I hear,
He's a total Hawaiian. You can
and
tell
I
just
see
by
my
that,
son,
dude.
and I'm all, Christian! He comes running to me, and we just gave each other the big hug, and I'm standing in the middle of all this damn.
Whoa.
It's just like a tornado hit. Just like a tornado hit.
Come on, dude.
And I saw him and
So boring. I got better stuff to show. You're wasting everybody's time.
You're pissing Singe off.
All right, go ahead, Cinch. Go ahead. Show what you got to show.
Thank you. I know,
All
thank
right.
you. He was pissing me off. It's like watching TV news or something.
The floor is yours.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting like TV vibes.
I know, it
Why
was.
do
It
they
was.
even need Christ
It was
back
totally
then?
like watching the news. Action news.
That's probably why I was getting pissed off. I don't watch TV. I mean, I do just to study it. So yeah, I study the
Totally.
beasts as I watch TV. Okay, can you see this? Tell me. You might have to run it. Remember, if the sound doesn't work.
Okay, go ahead.
Except I guess.
It's a really urgent video. There is a Pentecostal church. The address is 1382 Olona.
Okay, you're gonna tell me if this echoes or not, because last time it echoed.
It's echoing. It is echoing a little.
You're
a
gonna
little
have to
bit,
play
but
it
not.
then.
It's not bad though.
You can go into your audio
Why does it-
settings and put echo
I
cancellation
have
on.
that. I already have that.
And
on.
everyone, and when you screen share, everyone has to wear headphones.
It wasn't
Is it-
echoing too bad though.
Yeah, but everybody has to wear headphones because it will echo. That's what it
But
said.
how come it doesn't when you
especially
do it? You were doing it.
with-
with
with-
fine.
with
Maybe you
Reach-
should
with
show it.
Restream. Yeah, put the
Maybe
link
you
in.
should show it then.
All right, put the link in.
It is.
Yeah,
It says Maui.
it might. It's in there. All right.
Yep.
Private chat. Maui. All right, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, room can't run apparently in this restream.
Yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah, no, it's all right. It seems like when you were screen sharing earlier, though, Singe, it was working better. You didn't realize it was working, but it was working better than when we were using.
And I just couldn't hear it. Yeah, I
know, but it was working. It was. If you go back and watch it, you'll see it was working good.
It's a really urgent video. There is a Pentecostal church. The address is 1382 Olona Place. And it has some very interesting damage. The public is going to be allowed to go into this zone tomorrow. There's been no investigation, no testing. No professionals have been able to really look into this damage. It's not a fire damage. It looks like a laser sliced this structure in half. Literally what it looks like.
So from inside the building here, you can hear the traffic in the background. It's clearly inside the church. He's going to look at some of the structures. You know,
they put the word
that pedestal right there is not even burnt. It's not damaged. There's nothing wrong with it. The rest of the church isn't. It's right along the seam there at the peak or the gable of the roof here, or what appears to be a precision line cut. I mean, surprisingly, there's nothing else in this church that is burnt or had caught fire. When you look at the roof here in a close-up, and then down below on the floor, you can see the embers are small, nothing large. They fell immediately right to the ground. And this rectangular shape cut out the roof. I mean, what does that? If any of you have...
What happened?
That's fascinating.
It's over? All right, cool.
Pretty
That's
cool.
really, I mean, that's like the smoking gun right there.
Entire investigation.
And for the record, I will say this: it was not a natural disaster. This
Yeah, there we go. I was just thinking of that.
Is a fall.
Symptoms.
Did I miss something?
How all the common
symptoms
were taken out in
symptoms.
one fell swoop of a fire.
I cut it off at the last second by accident.
Fire department,
I thought it
police
was fun.
department on Maui did nothing to get those people out.
Why do you think they didn't turn the sirens on?
I don't know.
Do you regret not sounding the siren?
Well, it was part of the coordinated thing. It was a kill-off.
So many people said they could have been saved.
A lot of the people that were there,
had a siren gone off,
they were
they would have known
landholders, and so they had to eliminate them so that they could get the properties.
Grab the land, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
that-
they had to kill off, and then all the children that went missing. That they just
There's
stopped
been no
talking about.
investigation, no testing, no professional.
So usage. Yeah, but yeah, it was exactly. So Rasta, it was a land grab, right? So it was basically order out of chaos, right? They burnt the friggin' place down, caused chaos to create something new that they wanted, right? And yep. Go ahead. And what I'm thinking is like same thing with these great fires. They probably had to burn the friggin' cities down to redo it, make it new. The new world order was coming. Go ahead. I digress.
Yep. No, that's that's exactly. I mean, the look at how the people of Hawaii were. Their sentiment towards the Zuckerberg guy.
Nice.
They were pissed because like he's pretty much bought himself an island there and built a compound. And I think a lot of the Obama really likes Hawaii a lot too, and Oprah, she was a lot of people were trying to like connect her to this.
Oprah?
Yeah.
Oprah?
Uh-huh.
Oh, someone's here. No.
Yeah, you can type in Oprah and this and Maui and stuff will come up.
Oprah and Maui. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Oprah and the Maui fires.
All right, I'll play this. Give me a second. I'll look it up.
Do you want him to give you the answer, or do you want to give? Well, then let him finish his answer.
Sorry, there's a lot of people.
Well, you're talking and you're not letting him talk. If you want to talk, come up here.
I'm ready for the answer.
Then wait.
Wait, we can do our own.
There's a lot going on here that is way beyond anything that anybody wants to believe. That there was no warning. Fires went from 4 o'clock until 7 o'clock at night going. No military came. The whole community is mourning the deaths of over 1,500 people. They killed innocent men, women, and children.
The sad thing that I have right now in my hand is this court document. In fact, they blocked roads. And I can say that with a fact because the people in Lahaina testified to that.
And I walked all the way from Safeway to the chart house. Not one car had moved.
Okay. So real quick, now that I found it. Okay, let me see. Share screen. Oprah. All right, I went on DuckDuckGo. Oprah. All right, Oprah and Maui.
Telling the truth.
Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey's Maui controversy explained. Let me just scan down on this. Map shows Oprah's Maui properties as Hawaii wildfire spreads.
Don't diss my Oprah.
Map
That's my
shows
Oprah.
Maui. Oh no, block. I don't want no ads from your ass.
I think like their properties didn't get touched.
Are we gonna show the map?
No.
No, they're gonna
when
show
like,
us the map.
when like some of their neighbors.
How's it feel to be here, man?
Well, it's a little overwhelming, you know.
Oprah weighing in on the Maui fire.
But I'm really so pleased to have so many people, you know, supporting, and you know, people are just bringing what they can and doing what they can. So I came earlier just to see what people needed. And then went shopping.
Wow!
Because often, you know, you make donations of clothes or whatever, and it's not really what people need. So I actually went to Walmart and Costco and
You got pillows?
Good for you, Oprah.
Shampoo.
Oh wow! That's great.
Sheets.
I'm gonna be playing that one, Rock, when I get around to it. I was already
from China. Here, have some polyester shampoo. I spent like $1,000.
Oh, look at this! Oprah's response
to
she's
a multi-millionaire.
Truly disgusting.
I'm not
Oprah's
saying it, but still.
Truly disgusting. All right, let's see.
Let's see what she did next.
I don't even know if that's the same Oprah that used to be back in the game.
Right, she used to have a really glow about her.
Winfrey 69 lived
you know, she had a glow, a different glow.
Right, so,
right.
Yeah, she's
different
15,
person.
Yeah. All right, 2,000 acres. Different person. Yeah, I get it. The media mogul has been assisting survivors at an evacuation, including handling out supplies and also promising once all the smoke and ash has settled and we figure out what the rebuilding is going to look like. She was helping everybody, but she was looking forward to the rebuilding of the city. Yeah, but she just wants to see them build it back again, right?
Yeah,
I mean, basically, what happened is it forces everybody to sell their property because the value's gone down and they have mortgages, and so
make it look good. Yeah.
No, they didn't let the media in.
So
That's
for normie,
amendment.
It made it look good, right?
She looks like a Muppet there.
First Amendment. Oh,
with a hand up her butt. Yep.
Oprah Muppet.
Wow. But locals were appreciative of Winfrey's effort, including so they were appreciative of her. So they end the story on a good note. It's not a completely,
in that story. Yeah, I heard other stories where they're like,
oh, you heard other stories. Oh, what?
But they're always
Oprah Winfrey.
It's what the media feeds you.
All right. No, all right. We'll get back to this.
And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit
Sum it up, post here.
People got to get out of here.
Get people in here.
I'm following orders.
No way.
And I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. I walked all the way to Waikuli Beach, still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I've got a little fakeness to her.
If you have Prime, you can get a year of Grip
wow,
Plus free.
This is crazy. I'm so glad you're here.
That means
we go, what else do you need?
people screaming and stuff.
You're saying they were blockaded?
Oh, that was in this, dude. Singe, that was in The Simpsons, dude. Look, they always show stuff that was in The Simpsons.
Yeah, it was in The Simpsons.
At the end of Front Street.
Yeah.
Northbound lanes then shut down. This video shows no cars on the blocked off highway still 5:24 p.m. 2.5 hours later. When Debbie Schultz Peterson shot this video, Miller's video documented the lane closure during that time. He says police directed traffic down Keave Street into the cannery.
And either went out the backside on the front street. I could see that everyone was blocked, so I went out and I came this way and I got under the power line.
But there's more. Those trying to exit the middle of town from Lahaina Luna are also obstructed heading southbound. Before 3:30 p.m., Amanda Cassidy is among the early evacuees.
Anything could happen at any second, and I know that every second counts in those moments.
She leaves Lahaina Luna, Mackay of the bypass, but in this photo she says when she reaches Lahaina Luna Road and the highway, it's blocked off by an officer not just to the north, but south as well.
It's very complex, but I gotta tell you, I met with them. I'm also the coroner for those that don't know that.
You have the bodies. You know how many of them are children. How many children are dead? Step back, please. How many children are dead, Mayor?
When you have them unleashing actual lasers on Americans and destroying their homes and murdering children, I mean, that's what happened here. They murdered children stuck in their homes.
Is there talk among the locals of what could have been done to prevent this tragedy?
Yeah. A lot of talk. They could have given us.
I couldn't hear you at all. Go ahead. What were you saying?
For a sheriff to also be the coroner is a conflict of interest, and this is why it's not often heard of. Okay, go.
Well, wasn't he like related to like the Vegas incident too?
Yes, he was the
Same guy.
spokesman and face for the Las Vegas hoax.
Yeah, and that's just wild. Like,
they sent all the kids home from school because of the wind advisory, and we found
the same people in the Vegas thing and the Maui thing.
Found out yesterday that we lost a whole neighborhood of children.
The same
Vegas
yes, horrific. The Lahaina Luna
weather.
Yeah, I mean the Vegas thing alone is
all
just
the kids were home.
So wild.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, it's like hard for me to determine if anyone passed it on that one, because you know, like they used a lot of actors.
Even normies are like, what? That's lame.
And the whole story with that dude, like having to like cart in, like he would have had to carry in like 300 plus loads of luggage to bring that many firearms into the place.
Yeah,
it's like insane.
Yeah, I didn't look into the thing. It sounds like you researched it. I didn't really.
Yeah, there's no cameras.
I knew it was bullshit. I just didn't look at it.
Yeah, because why would you have cameras?
One of our coworkers messaged us yesterday saying every one of his friends in the neighborhood is dead.
When they're willing to do that, and all of the other aforementioned the things that you were talking about that they can unleash, but they also cater to those that are waking up by giving them some sort of a reprieve, that they are willing to murder innocent children who are trapped inside of their homes with no schools open, with no alarms or signals sounding at all. Keep in mind, ironically, this is the most advanced signal alarm system that we have in the entire country. This is a freaking island state. They have now shown you that they will physically go to war with you and kill you for your property. And
there's like thousands of people missing.
Oh, look at this. Directed energy weapons. Here we go. They're going to show some.
Yeah, I have something to show too. But
this is like
not, what I have to show is not video. It's going to be words and documents. So
well, this is, yeah, we'll do it after.
The nuclear family, and to destroy freedom in this country, and to overtake this country, to usher in a one world governance so that you are 100% dependent on the agenda of those at BlackRock and Klaus Schwab. This was a military style attack. Our government has openly declared war on its people, period.
They put the laser.
Israel is reportedly rolling out a new defense system. It's the stuff of sci-fi movies. Israel calls it its defensive trump card. It's the Iron Beam anti-missile laser system. Our next report tells you what's the iron beam and how it can be a game changer.
What up, Password?
Look at this video from last year. That's US President Joe Biden getting ready for a photo shoot. It's at the Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv. What's all the fuss for? Look at what's above his head. The giant camera lens-like thing. That's the reason for all this excitement. Because it's Israel's ace in the hole. The Iron Beam Laser Anti-Missile System. The Iron Beam is a technological marvel. The fruit of years of research in high-intensity lasers.
That's great because this is
It was first unveiled at a Singapore air show in 2014, and after 7 years, it seems to be ready for battlefield action. Israel has said it can focus the beam to the diameter of a coin within that distance. The Iron Beam fires lasers.
Wait. It can focus the beam to the diameter of a coin, dude.
Yep, and I can tell you how this works because it's very similar to taking solar hits with a magnifying lens when you're smoking weed outside. You got your bong, and you take your magnifying lens, right, and it harnesses the power of the sun, and then it shoots a beam, and that beam can be pinpoint. I mean, like it can, like if you have a little piece of hash on your bowl, it can zone in on. It can zone in, right on the little spot of the hash that you want to light.
So you're saying they have weapons that melt the buildings like hash on a bowl?
Yeah, exactly. It melts like full melt hash.
We should make some buildings out of hash and demonstrate it.
We could.
Your hash and not your weed.
I love it. I love the idea. What are you saying, John?
It'll burn your hash without getting the green.
Exactly.
You know what he's talking about, John? You've done this with the hash.
The solar hits, I gotta send you a magnifying lens, Ray. I used to sell them at the Reggae Fest and stuff. I even did this last summer.
Send me one, and I'll use it. And I'll
especially they're
make a video of it.
They're in the Sunshine State, in Florida. It makes the weed taste like 1,000,000 times better too than you ever smoking with a lighter.
Yeah, but you don't.
In the private chat. I'll be back in a
solar,
minute.
you don't get to do too many solar hits in the Northwest.
Yeah, no, we do.
Lasers that can reach energy levels of about 100 kilowatts.
I want to get through it.
For context, that's about 24 grams of TNT
24
exploding
grams
every
TNT
second.
Every second. 24
Here's a
grams
video
a second.
released by Israel's Defense Forces last year, showing a successful test of the Iron Beam. How it works is simple.
The Iron Beam.
Israel isn't going to replace all its systems.
That one's called the Iron Beam.
Systems with the Iron Beam.
But
the Iron Beam and other lasers will get stronger over time.
Iron Beam.
Signaling the beginning of the age of laser
It looks like
war.
Star Wars, dude. It looks like.
As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct.
Bringing it back to Oprah.
That's our people.
People.
And if this is just a money issue for you guys, get out of your seat. This is devastation. And I could go on and on with the people who are showing themselves on social media. The celebrities.
So right now, we are in a state of emergency.
What do I do? This is what you do. The People's Fund of Maui.
This was planned years ago.
Rich people
it's
are
now
weird,
happening.
man.
Oprah Winfrey has been buying up land in Maui like crazy. A 520-acre plot for $3.89 million this year. 330 acres for $2.47 million. 2 10-acre swaths of land for $100,000 each last year. In the last few years, she has gone from about 100 acres of land in Maui to over 1,000 acres.
Oprah could come in. Who is she? Who is she?
Oh, I get it. So Oprah's buying all this land in the whole place got burned, and she's talking about rebuilding.
Exactly. Yeah, she's going to buy up all the other land for super cheap. She's going to own pretty much
years. I'm stunned.
The whole town of Lahaina.
So Oprah went over there like, "Hey, I'm here to help you," and she's donating to them and helping them out. But on the other end, she's buying it out from underneath them. So people are like, maybe she has something to do with this.
Exactly.
Like she's one of the richest women in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One of the richest people in the world.
but I'm not surprised. The dots are connecting. And coincidence seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. But I can. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, it wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned? Was it a coincidence that the flames traveled across hundreds of feet of pavement and crossed a 4-lane highway with emergency shoulders to jump into the ocean and then burn all the boats? Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina? Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape onto one road where that firestorm incinerated entire families? How about the coincidence that the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, just weeks before that inferno, signed a pledge to the UN's 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development, pledging to eliminate emissions? Weird. And think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things, and suspended 7 state statutes protecting historic preservation laws, removing all of the red tape when it comes to building infrastructure. Coincidentally, that emergency proclamation also suspends previous building laws and gives the governor some magic wand power to appoint a housing czar to rule on the island's redevelopment. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 2011, there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy, and that coincidentally, 2 of the 3 largest landowners on Maui are BlackRock and the U.S. government, and that both are part of the UN's agenda? It must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock. Thank goodness none of these coincidences is connected.
Oprah Winfrey has a luxury mansion in Maui. It's completely fine. Jeff Bezos has a luxury mansion in Maui. It's completely fine. Bill Gates has a luxury mansion in Maui. It's completely fine. How did the fire know to avoid the most expensive mansions? Wake up!
Let me tell you what got me censored, because I'm not scared to say it. I'll say it right to anybody's face. These fires in Hawaii were not natural. They did it with lasers mounted onto the nose of aircraft. They also don't burn blue objects.
That's that
A lot of
UFC
objects
fighter.
there that were blue didn't get melted.
Is it?
Yeah.
Any logical person can look
He's
at this
also
and go,
fighting.
oh my lord, look at the motor. How did this grass fire
Look at it.
cause this car to completely melt? Look at this,
car
look at
melted.
this motor. The manifold. Where's the manifold? Right here. I know, where is it? It's
Melted.
dust.
From the ashes there will grow a garden of hearts. There was no warning, no alarm. Lost everything, but not our faith in God. Won't you stand with the Lahaina? Oh, Hana, until the skies are blue. Whoa, the Haina's not for sale.
We'll make it happen. Do not sell to anybody outside. We will get you back in your house. No matter what we have to do, we will get the funding to make sure that we can rebuild everybody's homes. Our community leaders should be at the forefront in decision making for our place.
That is a windshield right there that is completely melted. And cast aluminum here, that's pulverized. It's dust. How is that possible for a grass fire that did not come from this direction? Because you can see there's nothing that's been burned over here. What could cause that type of destruction when you have a grass fire on this side that obviously didn't connect. But even if it was a grass fire,
and it's still half burned. I mean,
yeah, you can see there's even some grass over here that's still standing. It's not even been burned.
A million tears for you. Won't you stand with the line? Until the skies are blue.
What gets me?
I've been eating some pineapple mango salsa.
It seems like it's applauded in society that
Maui.
we give $8 billion
I had some salsa
to
earlier
Israel.
too, Rasta, some good salsa.
I'm sure we give them that weekly. But to announce, hey, we're going to give them $8 billion, Maui is still in ashes. Where's the money from a state in our own country? With the $8 billion that they're sending to their best friends in Israel, they could have built everyone a new house in Maui and then gave them a year's salary. And no one's doing shit.
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
Yeah, and then it gets into politics. All right, well.
Did nothing.
All right, so, all right, we got that one.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah, what's up?
Why were they using crisis actors?
Yeah, good. Yeah, back to that. Good call. Bringing it back. I was thinking why?
To throw everything off? I mean,
I'm wondering.
To control the narrative, because like
control the narrative, gatekeep.
Yeah, to get their story out there, they have to all be saying the same exact, script in order for this. So people don't ask too many questions other than that. If they keep feeding a narrative, then the majority of people don't ask questions, and then it doesn't matter if like even 30 or 40% of us know the truth, as long as like the majority go along with the narrative. They don't even care anymore that so many of us are awake to this stuff, because they've got so much momentum that by the time that everyone figures it out, I mean BlackRock alone is a company that really deserves a bunch of research into, because they're they've also responsible for buying up all the land in Ukraine, and other places where it's like there's a trail of destruction that they come right in behind and buy up things. I mean, they're responsible for buying up a good chunk of our property in our nation here, and making it to where homes aren't affordable to live in any longer.
Yeah.
So
I heard about them.
yeah, between them and the Klaus Schwab and the United Nations Agenda 2030 and the Belt and Road Initiative with China. I mean, look at another theory is that Hawaii's right there in between us and China, and it would make a great port city or port island network for China to take, to be able to re-up on supplies and things like that as they come here to the United States and invade, which is what a lot of people think is going to be the end result. I mean, that's what they've even said is going to happen. I mean, they're already similarly trying to go after Taiwan. That could happen anytime, and they eventually, they want to become the the main empire that rules the world. They will be like the the textbook example of what the new world order will be, is the Chinese.
Did you show those documents?
Oh yeah.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, it's the old world order, right? They've always been around. It's nothing new.
China's the old world order. They're not. I don't think they're in on it. Or are they?
The new world order is the old world order.
I mean, like every country.
Which one do you want to bring up first? The one that says
either one. Either one, and then just, you don't have to read every word of it. Just scroll through it and check it out, and look at the first page and what it's about. It's pretty interesting.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, if people
Like to
don't
zoom in,
see that this is real by now, I mean, it's just like it's
It
pointless
says-
to even.
Look, it's a pamphlet. It says DARPA Emerging Technologies.
Yeah, as long as they got the majority of people going.
Strategic Studies Quarterly.
Yeah, you don't have to kind of like skim through it. You know,
Yeah.
you'll get the gist of it.
It's crazy because nobody
DARPA,
cares
yeah,
about this, but then the Super Bowl that's coming up.
We got to read some of it aloud.
Can you see it?
Not all of it.
No. Pursuing the
everyone's
technologies to enable the dispersion of assets while maintaining concentrated effects. In particular, this article presents breakthrough research in disaggregated capabilities, hypersonic strike weapons, and directed energy. These capabilities will be essential for operations in anti-access area denial A2AD regions and offer to replace the monolithic manned platforms with a network.
See what I mean?
Integrated
it really
system.
gets this jargon going
He said-
because that's what they do.
Unmanned
kind of
air
way, okay?
vehicles. Yep. Hypersonic standoff strike munitions. Enhanced directed energy capabilities. These technologies provide a viable option for maintaining a credible global strike capability. Global.
Yeah, they don't speak straight. You gotta read between the lines, or when they speak in all these big words.
I think
words.
too that they're
Okay.
using this same technology right now, where they're striking Iraq and Syria. The United States is right now. They carried out some attacks there today, and I listened to the newscast, and they said they were going to get them with missiles, and then also with space weaponry. And it's like, what are they talking about with space weaponry? And that's where they're using lasers there to target their and
look, this says
so. It just tells you basically. I wanted to say this because it tells you
Star
that
Wars.
it doesn't prove anything, but what it does prove is that they talk about it.
Yeah, well, this is talking
definitely
about
prove that they mention the word directed energy. It doesn't prove
in
that
the-
they do it, but it
in the
does prove
defense,
that they talk
in the defense, in the defense documents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my proof that they talk about it. And if you look
We
further,
have them right here.
they show the DARPA gremlins. Go down to the DARPA gremlins.
Oh, look,
a
there's
little bit further.
pictures. Oh, what's this? Concept matures. However, the new capabilities. Look. Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. What's going on here?
They're
All right. I
blasting-
see. They got these things from the ground and they're blasting out planes, just taking them right out of the sky, dude.
There's videos though with planes though that have those lasers mounted on the bottom of them.
DARPA
Yeah,
gremlin.
go a little bit further to the
Those are the
figure
gremlins.
2, DARPA gremlins. Figure
I
2.
did. I was just at it. Right there. Oh. Glitchy. Glitchy. That ain't working. Yeah, that ain't working.
The next document is interesting in another way.
What, this
We
one?
call it other words.
Exhibition. Looking at military documents tonight.
Non-linear dynamics and control of flexible structures. See, that's the wording they use. So you go and look that up and dig it up, and basically it says directed energy. You gotta dig for it. What is control
There you
of
go.
flexible structures? You know, control of flexible.
When I try to zoom in
structures.
too
What?
big, it won't do it.
Well, read further.
DARPA gremlins. Better watch out for the DARPA gremlins.
You know, and it's very similar to whatever they used at like the
Dude, this
the
is pretty big.
the concerts too, like
Yeah.
you know,
Look
like
at
the
this.
monitor.
Look, air crew labor and cockpit automation system. Alias seeks to develop and insert new collaborative operations in denied environments. The agency dug these up.
Yeah, that's some good research there.
I know, right? Hypersonic strike weapons. Oh, hypersonic strike weapons. A second way of dealing with an A2AD environment is to use long-range standoff weapons that allow platforms to strike within the protected space without actually penetrating it themselves. Hypersonic flight is a vitally important and inevitable revolution in aerospace power based on suite of technologies currently in development. Wow.
Yep.
All right. So there's a whole booklet on this.
So the ADAT is nonlinear dynamics, control, flexible structures.
Oh, look, here we go.
You'll see in the next document.
Look,
this one's a good document. Yeah.
Figure 3, India's BrahMos hypersonic cruise missile. And this is a figure with the Wave Rider, United States Air Force Wave Rider. Yeah, but Singe. Are you there? Are you there?
Proof for public release. Hey, I didn't get it.
Singe, let me play devil's advocate. Is this just fair porn or is this real?
Right.
Is this like the NASA lunar lander at a museum? In a museum?
I say this proves they talk about it. That's what it proves, and that's all it proves.
Yeah, I think it's real. I think it's as real as.
Hello, Kim Razor.
But
I got to.
We have the open mind and third eye.
Now.
With the third.
Oh well, thank you for joining us, Rasta.
Later, Rasta. Thank you.
Thanks for. Yeah,
we always enjoy. We always enjoy your input. Yep, we always need it. We always need the Rasta Bear opinion.
Yes, I.
All right, man.
Yep. So we have the open mind with the third eye. No.
Peace out.
That it's unclassified for a reason. We want us to know.
Conclusion.
Part of their act of truth telling. We told you. You just didn't look. That kind of thing.
The march of technology and world events present U.S. Armed forces with a myriad of significant challenges and parallel opportunities. Each generation of military evolution has greatly increased lethality and lethality. I don't know. Weird.
That's right. You got it.
Lethality in survivability of individual weapons platforms. So what is it? They talk funny, huh? To adjust geographic flexibility to provide capable to overwhelm layered defenses.
Yeah, they don't want to just.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions
legal talk, but it's different than legal talk.
Yeah.
Really,
it's military.
It's military, right? But it's even more. Yeah, it's military, but it's
a top secret.
It's intricately worded with unneeded words. But the words they use can only be construed in one meaning.
Scorching on the outside of the trunk. Certainly did not see any heavy charring.
And then you had the another one too, right?
And everything around this tree stump is asphalt.
That's what they go for.
Oh. So if there was organic debris on the.
Then we have this one. All right, what's this, Singe?
And with the fear porn, a lot of these guys that are spewing it actually believe it. That's what's great when they actually believe it, because then it's like, wow, we have us a sheep that really believes it, and he's just like, he's not even acting. He really believes it. That's great. Get him out there.
What's this? Unclassified security classification. Unclassified Air Force scientific research. Nonlinear dynamics and control of flexible structures. Wow. Well, I got it up on the screen, so I'll go slow.
Get my green screen going. It's bad.
It's unclassified, at least.
All right, on the next document. Okay, yeah, you get to scrub through. Read at the beginning.
Where?
At the bottom, it gives you a little. Let's see. Basic performance requirements for space-based directed energy weapons involve unprecedented requirements for integrated control of rapid retargeting and precision pointing of space structures. Space, that's anywhere. Everywhere is space. Got it? When they say space, that means you're in a space. Everybody's in space.
Yeah,
So
Rock,
they're
I
laughing
agree.
their ass off when they
I
talk
agree.
about
It might
space.
be fair
They mean
point.
everywhere in the world is space. Okay, so basically, basic performance requirements, requirements. See, so that whole sentence means their performance require rapid retargeting and precision pointing, which is what we see. Multi-body interactions excite nonlinear couplings which complicate the dynamic response. So multi-body interactions excite nonlinear couplings. See what they can't just come right out and tell you that. What they're saying is that multi-body interactions. Okay, so what's that? A building with many parts? Excite nonlinear couplings. What's a nonlinear coupling? Wow, they really get deep, which complicate the dynamic response. So attempts to reduce fluctual response, such as weapon. See, they go off. They're talking about, but the very first sentence says space.
Nonlinear control concept using dynamical system inverse.
Yeah, the very first sentence.
Dude, then it gets like Einstein looking, like E equals MC squared type shit.
The very first sentence says space-based directed energy weapons, and that's all you need. After that, it's really
After that, it's a bunch of equations and nonsense. After that,
not any equations, just
it's a bunch of bullshit.
Heavy wording. You'll learn new words. Just go look up every word you don't know. Well, and then you'll figure it out. The innovative approach to LOS. Do you know what LOS is? No. Line of sight. See, I already know this. The innovative approach to line of sight slewing / pointing developed in this study is based on the implementation of decoupling by feedback control. So decoupling. Let's look that up. I think I know what it means. It means to tear apart. Right?
Yeah.
Decoupling refers to the ending, removal, or reverse of coupling, like atoms or whatever holds reality together. So instead of saying destroying, burning, tearing apart, they use a heavy word, decoupling.
Yeah.
Very scientific, yeah. And if you sit down with the guy that wrote it, he'd be like, yeah, this tells you that we can burn things from a distance very accurately. That's all it's saying, that we can burn things. Line of sight, LOS, a system effective, LOS, line of sight. The generic.
You ready? Go ahead. Oh, is he good? Shut up.
I'm coming across a lot of big historical fires in my research and really question the stories we are told about them. From Nero fiddling while Rome burned, to Mrs. O'Leary's cow knocking over a lantern and starting the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. My name is Michelle Gibson. I am seeing the role of great fires in our historical narrative more and more as a smokescreen, which is defined as 1, a cloud of smoke created to conceal military operations, and 2, a ruse designed to disguise someone's real intentions or activities. Did all of these fires really take place? Did some fires actually take place and others not? Did fires get started intentionally for the purposes of the destruction of the architecture of the original Moorish civilization and the physical infrastructure of the planetary grid? The San Francisco fire of 1906 could have been caused by an earthquake. Was it?
Caused by an earthquake?
Looking at the list, I have picked just a handful of early fires in history to look into, as there are well over 200 recorded fires of cities and towns throughout history to choose from. I decided to start with the destruction of Carthage. In 146 BC, the ancient and powerful city of Carthage was systematically burned down over 17 days by the Romans at the end of the Third Punic War between Carthage and Rome, after which time it was said to have been redeveloped as Roman Carthage. Carthage was the capital city of the ancient Carthaginian civilization on the eastern side of Lake Tunis, located in what is now Tunisia. Carthage was the state of Phoenicia, which was a maritime and Mediterranean civilization said to have originated in what is now Lebanon. The ruins of ancient Carthage are located in the northern suburbs of Tunis, the capital of Tunisia. The most famous general of Carthage was Hannibal Barca, widely considered one of the greatest military commanders in history. He was perhaps best known for leading an invasion into Italy across the Alps in the Second Punic War, and with taking elephants along with him. This coin is said to bear his image. And yet this is the typical portrayal of him. Carthage was famed for its double harbor, known as a kothon, which was divided into a rectangular merchant harbor, followed by an inner protected harbor reserved for military use. You find the same type of architectural proportion, symmetry, and alignment in the perfect framing of the temple by the archway in ancient Carthage on the top, that is seen in the perfect framing of the Nelson Monument in the middle of the colonnade of the National Monument of Scotland in Edinburgh on the bottom. The architectural design pattern seen with the archways of the Bardo Museum in Tunis on the top is similar to that of these archways at the Fisherman's Bastion in Budapest, Hungary, on the bottom. This giant foot measuring 6 feet, or 1.8 meters, is on display at the Bardo Museum, believed to have been part of a colossal statue estimated to have been at least 50 feet or 15 meters high.
Wow. Pretty big.
Makes me wonder to what that foot was originally attached,
It's Mike.
with details of the foot right down to the realistic-looking toenails, joints, and the leather sandal. One last comparison for similarity before leaving this part of the world. On the top is a view of a street in the town of Sidi Bou Said, located 12 miles or 20 kilometers from Tunis in North Africa. On the bottom is a view of a street in Cusco, Peru, located on the western side of South America at an altitude of 11,152 feet or 3,399 meters.
All right.
All coincidences? Or all built by the same civilization using the same templates?
Some corrections real quick. Okay. So in the chat. Okay. So we have Michelle L. Or Michelle. All right. So it was Michelle L. with 2 L's, but she put the second L at the end because she must have been typing fast. Okay. Now the other one I saw was Michael Gibson. It's Michelle Gibson. Michelle Gibson. Okay. Okay. Moving along.
The Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD was the one with the legend that the Emperor Nero played the fiddle while Rome burned. It was said to have started at the Circus Maximus in July of 64 AD. Altogether, it was said to have burned for 9 days, destroying 2/3 of Rome. Let's take a look at the importance of this place to ancient Rome.
She's good.
The Circus Maximus was said to be Rome's largest stadium. It was said to have an obelisk placed in it around 10 BC from Heliopolis in Egypt, and then a second obelisk from the Temple of Amun at Karnak,
all 5 of them,
installed somewhere around 400 AD. We are told the same obelisk from Heliopolis has been in the center of the Piazza del Popolo in Rome since 1589. And the obelisk from Karnak in the square next to the St. John Lateran Archbasilica since 1588. For comparison, from my research, I know that the obelisks referred to as Cleopatra's Needle, located in London, Paris, and New York, weigh well over 200 tons, or 10 metric tons. How were they transporting and lifting extremely heavy obelisks around like this at that time, according to the history we've been taught?
Yeah.
The Circus Maximus was located in what is called the valley between Aventine and Palatine Hills, 2 of the 7 hills of Rome. The Circus Maximus is right next to the place in the Tiber River where Tiber Island is located. Tiber Island is the only island in Rome on the Tiber River. It is described as a boat-shaped island connected by bridges to both sides of the river since antiquity. It definitely looks like an artificial island. And is the Tiber River actually a canal?
What happened?
The Circus Maximus is on one
Look
side
at
of
that.
Palatine
That
Hill,
looks
the
completely
centermost
ruined.
of the 7 hills of Rome, and one of the most ancient parts of the city. The Roman Forum is on the other side of Palatine Hill. Palatine Hill was said to become the location of imperial palaces since the time of the Emperor Augustus, who reigned from 27 BC
Making
until
a
his death
coffee.
in
Give me a
14
sec.
AD. This is what remains of the Stadium of Domitian on Palatine Hill on the top left, which reminds me of megalithic stone circles in rows seen at the Beemore stone circles in County Tyrone, Ireland on the top right, and the Wasu stone circles in Gambia near Senegal in Africa. There's much more of historical importance to Rome in the vicinity of the Circus Maximus, including the Colosseum. What we are told in the narrative is that the fire started near the Circus Maximus in the shops where flammable goods were stored, and the fire expanded through narrow, twisted streets and closely located apartment blocks. Looters and arsonists were reported to have acted to spread the fire or to prevent measures from being taken to put out the fire. Yet it certainly looks like this part of Rome, around the Circus Maximus, was a very special place held in high regard, and the home of its emperors. It does not fit the description of a residential neighborhood for the masses of its citizenry that is described in the narrative. In 532 AD, we are told that the Nika riots took place in Constantinople, now Istanbul in Turkey, starting as a conflict over chariot racing and ending up as a violent riot against the Emperor Justinian. As a result, we are told half of Constantinople was burned or destroyed, and tens of thousands of people were killed. The rioting started at the Hippodrome, shown in the lower left side of this diagram. The Hippodrome of Constantinople just happens to look like the Circus Maximus in Rome, including the presence of obelisks. Unlike Rome, however, 2 obelisks remain in the original location of the Hippodrome in Istanbul, which is now called the Sultanahmet Square. One is the obelisk of Theodosius I, said to be an ancient Egyptian obelisk of Thutmose III. It was said to have been transported from Egypt and re-erected in the Hippodrome somewhere around 390 AD. The other is called the walled obelisk, or masonry obelisk, said to have an unknown construction date, but reconstructed by the Emperor Constantine VII in the 10th century. Also, like the imperial palaces on Palatine Hill next to the Circus Maximus in Rome, the Great Palace of Constantinople was located next to the Hippodrome. It was also known as the Sacred Place. Only a few remnants of the Great Palace's foundations have survived into the present day. The Hagia Sophia, or Holy Wisdom, is in the same complex. It was said to have been built in 537 AD as a Greek Orthodox cathedral, and later became an Ottoman imperial mosque in the year 1453. It has been a museum since 1935. It has the largest masonry dome in the world. It is important to note that the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul is oriented to the sunrise on the winter solstice. I'm going to end this video with a close look at the 1684 Toompea fire in Tallinn, Estonia. There are interesting tidbits tucked within the information available about Toompea that aligned it in importance with the locations of the fires in Carthage, Rome, and Constantinople. At the same time, there are inconsistencies about the details of the fire that was said to have taken place here in 1684. Toompea, which means Cathedral Hill, is described as being on a limestone hill that is an oblong tableland in the center of Tallinn, in the oldest part of the city. This is Toompea Castle, where it appears to be sitting on top of a massive earthwork. Toompea Castle is said to be an ancient stronghold, in use since the 9th century. In the present day, it houses the government of Estonia, and is said to have always been the seat of power for Estonia. Check out those massive walls. The fire of 1684 was said to be the most devastating fire of its history, destroying most of the buildings. Yet this place looks to have sophisticated buildings of very solid and heavy masonry. Toompea appears to be a very important place in Estonia, and looks to be in pretty good shape to have had such a huge destructive fire. The Toomkirk, or St. Mary's Cathedral, in which one information source I found said it was the only building to survive the 1684 fire, and that it was established by the Danes in the 13th century. Yet I found nothing to indicate that buildings like the Tumpia Castle had been destroyed in this same fire. The Tumkurik is said to be the oldest church in mainland Estonia. The Russian Orthodox Nevsky Cathedral is right next to Tumpia Castle. It was said to have been built in Russian Revival style between 1894 and 1900. There is already a pattern developing in just the 4 examples of historical fires that took place at seats of power in their respective parts of the world, and which I selected to look at in a random fashion. I did not know this when I started to research. I only remember Carthage having been completely destroyed by Rome from history in school, and the legendary connection with the 64 AD Rome fire to Nero.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the Constantinople riots, and had never even heard of Tumpia before. All of these places piqued my interest when I started looking at where the fires were said to have taken place, so I decided to focus on them for this video.
Old new places.
As a result of all my research thus far, I believe that 1851 was the official start date of the new historical narrative that was superimposed over the existing advanced infrastructure with the opening of the Great Exhibition of the Works of Industry of All Nations in London's Crystal Palace, kicking it off in 1851. In my next video, I will be 1. A cloud of smoke created to conceal military operations, and 2.
All right. That was one video that I had. Okay.
I think I sent you the link.
Yeah, what do you got?
I think I sent you the thing.
Where, Maui? Up top?
No, it's underwater civilizations. Well, they weren't when they were living there.
Oh, it's not in the private chat. You sent it to me
No,
the other day.
Give me a few minutes.
All right.
I gotta charge up everything.
Sorry. Take your time. What was I saying? All right, back to this. Share a little bit more of this.
Boom, baby.
On the building.
Yeah, okay.
It was preheated enough to bend it.
Well, yeah. Did you think it'd be still straight? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, secondary structure collapse.
Gotta go on some yogi meditation.
Yeah. Another set of doors just to show you what less damaged ones look like. But you know, most of the glass panels are gone in all these. You can see the panic hardware on the inside. So just some different stuff in there. A lot of destruction.
Yeah. Wow. Holy smoke.
There's another assembly which would allow light to come into the classroom. And this is an example of a smaller window so that when you open the door, you can see that there's another person on the other side of it.
Right.
And not, you know, fling the door open to them and knock them down.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, look at that pipe.
Wow.
I've checked these too, and that's some heavy steel. That's like at least scheduled. Here's an interesting one. With some sort of a sign, and you could see the nails, the fasteners there.
Okay.
And the combustible materials from the wood sign are completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wow,
just lots of little indicators like that. I'm just scrolling through.
That shows something. That's what's that now?
Okay, this is a metal cabinet that receives the power drop to the school. So this is probably the primary place it lands first. So it's probably, I was telling Don, it's probably at least 2-phase, which would be 440, if not 3 or 4-phase.
It's so weird.
Depending on the power demands of the school. So
uncooperative.
The power drop
every
comes in from underground. It goes up into the steel cabinet. The steel cabinet was surrounded by pavement, basically.
Government's not here to
this
save
is what
you.
Got our attention on it. And we
It's
were up
crazy.
here
Everyone would
with
have
Lou
fine.
and Deborah Tavares, and
just
Lou
done
opened the
what they
door.
thought was right.
And no evidence of
It's crazy.
More people would have been fine.
It's crazy how I could flip from directed energy fires, you know, like whatever, wildfires.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
My name is Michelle Gibson.
Maybe their technology
I believe that a new historical
It's been going on
grafted onto the existing physical infrastructure was officially kicked off by the exposition in London's Crystal Palace in 1851.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
After taking approximately 110 years to dig enough infrastructure out of a global mud flood to restart civilization.
I can't concentrate there. See if I can remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. The difference is their buildings were harder to burn. They actually were hard to burn. So they had to really amp up whatever tech they had. The buildings they had to burn now are like plates.
The bricks.
It's like it's like a
the
plate.
bricks burnt at hotter temperatures. It took them more.
You think so? Compared to drywall, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It might take a little bit less heat to burn drywall. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that here's my theory: is that they have the tech and they're trying to First of all, they don't need the power that they had to burn these places. Although San Francisco wasn't that, it was more brick though. Still, they don't need that same power. But I think that they are learning how to reuse it. Because what I've seen is little spots here and there across the United States, like on the side of the road, just burning fence. Not myself, but through videos, right? Little spots everywhere, like they're just target practicing. And then a big thing in Santa Rosa, a bigger one in Paradise and other places across the world, forests, Canada, and then a really big one, very targeted in Maui, and then we had a Category 5 hurricane hit Acapulco, directly turned and took a right angle turn. It's going past Acapulco, and it takes a right angle turn. Oh yeah, and when you have a hurricane, you have 3 or 4 days warning. They had hours warning, and no one knew it was coming. So they can direct weather as well as do. And so my theory is that they're just relearning how to use the tools, and they don't really have to know how to use it at the high energy heat because we live in cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
But the cars, the melting rims. Okay, here, check this out. Rims melt at a higher degree temperature than a tar road. A tar road would melt before the rims. However, these rims melt and they roll across the cooler pavement because the microwave energy is going into the mass of the metal and then melting. And by the time it melts out across the pavement, it's not melting the pavement. Although there's been pavement melted too, but the only way for that metal to burn, in my knowledge, and not burn the pavement, which is a very low degree temperature to melt. I mean, I've been on a hot sunny day and the tar on a road is melting. So for the melted rim to melt across it, something's targeting through the metal and not the road, which is microwave energy. It's almost indisputable evidence. It's crazy. They will dispute it all day.
All day.
These won't burn, but they are tan. Oh, I would never finish reading that. Mr. Nude Beach. Dragging this out here. Okay. Whatever. I guess I'll go to Nude Beach. Because my new friend's insane. So I'm just going to follow him down to this nude beach.
Let's see what they're showing here.
Hit that meter. And these are the location of the breakers as you found them when you looked in there. Does this show that the meter was not melted by a power surge? Because if it was, these breakers would be tripped off if it was a power surge from the company, which would mean if it was
so many things pointed out. It's like this is something we don't understand
from some other.
And they always say no.
That's what we believe.
No.
So the power in this case, and if I've got my head in the wrong place where the sun doesn't shine, you can correct me. The power would come in underground, go through the meter first, and then down through these breakers to the rest of the electrical distribution system of the school. Okay. We're in agreement on that?
Yes.
So what we believe happened up here is there was some kind of a surge from the underground drop, which caused the meter to melt.
Surge.
And
From the underground drop. From the underground drop.
That was your nickname in high school.
My nickname was Underground Drop.
There's your smart meter laying inside the box, inside the door, the exterior door that got us in there. And it's a smart meter.
That looks too smart to me.
Yeah, it's pretty melted.
And so the smart meters are for measuring electricity, right? And they can handle electricity, right? So how come they melted from electricity supercharged thing? I mean, it looks like they were falsely had a pulse in them when they were made, that they had a weakness that they couldn't handle power surges.
Well, a power surge that was that strong enough to discolor the paint on the outside of that box, the white box, and also to melt that meter. Those breakers would have tripped almost instantaneously because those are magnetic-based meters. And when you have a high level of current, the magnetic fields cause the breakers to trip to protect the meters.
Right. How about that? But when you get something like a directed energy weapon, how much power can you get from a directed energy weapon?
How much power from a directed energy weapon?
Modern way to attack people now. Use directed energy weapons. You can send a beam out. It only costs you about $1, whereas if you drop a bomb on it, it costs you $100.
See how perfect it is? It ends at the tree line.
New weapon to
it's like doesn't go in.
How long
do whatever you need to do for land reform?
If it only costs
new concept, huh?
All right. Here's a question.
Raytheon.
If it only costs $1, listen, Cinch. If it only costs $1 to throw a beam out, like he's saying, right? How much would it cost for me to pay for one beam for $1? How long? All right. How long would one of those beams power my home for $1?
Well, if I had a nickel for every time someone asked me that, I would have a nickel.
Nice. Good answer.
Lasers in the microwave frequency, and they can be put on aerial platforms like drones or 747, 777 planes. All you have to have is a power source, a big generator or something to send the power through the machine. And then, to answer your question, Don, the amount of energy necessary to melt a meter like that with just straight microwaves could be, it's within the mechanical feasibility to have it on a plane or a drone.
That's right.
You could have lithium-ion battery packs and amplify them and then send the energy down if that is indeed what happened here. But it's very strange that meter would melt like that.
Yeah, I think it would be capable of handling almost anything, and they safety tested it and things when they do that, and then they put out these millions of meters in these communities, and when you see the whole streets burned, and no trees, just the houses burned to white ash, completely incinerated, toilets and everything, water heaters.
Yeah, there's also some cars. I don't know if John has any pictures. I've seen some pictures with them.
This is crazy.
It's
the cars.
So,
we'll get to the cars here in a minute.
Okay.
They're about to get into the cars. All right, go ahead.
Why did they name it Google? That's a horrible thing. If you search house fire, then we'll just compare some regular house fires. And then you flash back and forth. It's like no comparison. A regular house fire to these,
look up
no
regular house
comparison.
fires.
It's like everybody with me. It's just like when you see a plane and a UFO, you're like, that's definitely a plane. You're like, but what is that? It's the same thing. That's definitely a house fire. But what is that?
What do you want? Like the ruins of house fires?
No, just put the word house fire and then go to images. I do notice that we do get different search results, though.
Yeah.
I got some bright lights shining there.
Okay.
Wow, look at that. Really bright.
House fire. All right, Cinch, which one you want?
There you go. Any of them. Just scroll through. Try to find one with like a tub or a toilet. Maybe like one wall standing. That looks like a real house fire. There's some walls. You might find like a table partly burnt.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom in on some stuff. And then we'll look at the other ones where we already don't have to look. We know it's just ash. It's basically they say
that
the house is burnt into its footprint. Is what the terminology is.
Like that one.
These are not burnt into their footprint. You're just some walls standing. There's some furniture, maybe some yard furniture too. There might be like a chair right next to the house where just the plastic is burnt, but the metal piece is there.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad, yeah. Full wall untouched. Well, they got to it, right? They got to it. They were able to put the fire out, so that doesn't count. Find one that they probably got torched and it's just dumb. They didn't get to it. But still, that's a good point. They got to that one, but still, find one that's just like burned bad.
I'm looking. There's so many of them, dude.
There's one.
Yeah.
Let's go. I
don't know either. Right there.
Okay,
There's one.
you gotta zoom. I can't
that
see
one's,
it.
That
It's
one's
very
pretty good.
small on my screen.
Hold on, we got one.
I have some right here.
There you go, Singe. Look. That one's pretty burnt. No, not burnt enough.
I don't know. Do you think the fire went out on its own of that?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, Singe.
You're also then.
You ready? You got yours? You getting it up?
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, dude. All right.
So, let's see.
Someone's here.
Well, you know, I'll get the same pictures, right? Let's see. Is that working? Can you see?
Is that you? So I thought I heard someone else.
Yeah, that's
All right.
mine. Okay.
Yeah, it's working. Go ahead.
So, guys, putting out the fires, putting it out. There's one. Firemen did not make it to this, in my opinion. They did at the end, but it was too late.
Hey, Jim from Florida, what's up?
It's whole chunks there.
DM. What's
That
up?
didn't catch
Oh,
fire.
people are
How come
coming.
none of this caught fire? It's like right next door. It didn't go to every household. How come the whole neighborhood didn't burn? Huh. Okay. Next. And now I'll do my divergent. I don't know. I am just showing you pictures. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah. Good one.
Oh, look, they made it a little bit too late.
On a spinning ball.
Too late. What do we see here? Pieces of metal. Full piece of metal sticking up. It was devastated, this whole area from this fire. They were too late. Still, what's that? Right in the front yard, a whole table.
Yeah.
Now, if that were in any of these other places, that wouldn't be there. We don't see anything like that. Look at it. Oh, that's a cup from the fireman. Okay, next. I'll do one more.
All right, go ahead.
The normal fire, like, wow, that's pretty devastated, but there's still little bits here and there. Oh, yeah, no, you see, it wasn't white ash either. There's a fire in the snow. And I have another thing after this. I gotta look it up. Some places had their hottest weather and their coldest weather within 2 weeks of each other. Let's see. Got to concentrate here. House. There's your house. You see, we do have the same feedback here. So the same one. So far, these are our normal house fires, right? Most of firemen were able to get to them. You can tell the ones that firemen were not able to get to. This one, firemen did not make it in time. Wow.
Lucky.
Okay, there's a brick. It's not really white ash everywhere. There's a full chimney stack. Let's look closer. When you look closer, then you can find things.
Yep, it looks almost like The black and white one, but
See
in
this
color.
big boards here, and there's some pipe, big chunks of pieces. It's not just dusted. They're chunks of things. And that's all I can really say. It's pretty obvious difference. Stop sharing. There you go.
All right. Well, I go back
Different
to
type
this.
of fire. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think if you dig further, you can find
Royal Observatory at
cars and
Greenwich
trees
in
and
London
look further.
became the world's prime meridian in 1851. Prior to the time of moving it to Greenwich in England, the Great Pyramid of Giza was the ancient prime meridian of the Earth. Someone left me a comment that the trivium was removed in 1850. I have been unable to find an internet source to confirm the date. The trivium was the lower division of the 7 liberal arts of classical education, comprising grammar, logic, and rhetoric, subjects leading to the development and refinement of critical thinking and speaking skills. My research has led me to the conclusion that the Great Frost of Ireland, which took place between 1740 and 1741, was somehow connected to the mudflood cataclysm, and that these events were deliberately caused in order to take control of the planetary grid system and humanity. The free energy electrical system in place around the world prior to this event either was no longer used or desired to be used in the form it was in previously. This was the exhibition building and Market Square Clock Tower in Geelong, Australia, with its incredible design features, and what looked like lightning rods and flagpoles, perhaps originally in place for receiving and transmitting energy. The clock tower was demolished in 1923, and the remaining buildings were demolished in the early 1980s to make room for a new shopping center. The free energy system was ultimately replaced with other forms of energy that could be monetized and controlled. Trams around the world, which had been powered by electricity, were pulled by mules until perhaps the time the electrical system was figured out, like what you see in the foreground of this photo from the Southern Exposition of Louisville
CPU
that went on from 1883
right
to 1887.
Right? Yeah. Sensor processing unit. Yep. I seen that. I thought that too, Singe.
And when powering once again by electricity was figured out, within a few decades, largely replaced by cars and buses in most of the cities they were in, like Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery is one of 3 places that I know of said to have had the first citywide system of electric streetcars in 1886.
Wow.
Which was known as the Lightning Route. The streetcars were retired in a big ceremony and replaced.
My nickname was the Lightning Route in high school.
By buses in 1936. So they are going to put in all the time, energy, money, and effort to develop an efficient mass transportation system like this.
Which year?
And then only use it for 50 years. I am going to start by looking at the Great Hamburg Fire of 1842. It is noteworthy that the fire took place in the Hamburg Altstadt and started on May 5th on the Dykstrasse, or Dyke Street, which is the oldest remaining street in the old city of Hamburg. It was said to burn for 3 days before being extinguished, destroying about a third of the buildings in the Altstadt and killing 51 people.
Wow.
Interesting to note that there was a heavy demand on insurance companies that led to the establishment of reinsurance, or insurance for insurance companies to insulate them from major claims events. I wonder how this factors into the fire. The fire was said to have begun in Edward Cohen's cigar factory, and that it quickly spread through the wooden, half-timbered buildings of Hamburg. The Great Fire was also said to have destroyed the city's town.
So a cigar lit the factory on fire, maybe, is what they're trying to say? Cigar ash lit a cigar factory and it burnt the whole town. Dude, look at this building. Look at that one. Wow. Look at the Antiquitech on the roof. That one looks like definitely like tech. All right.
Yep.
Oops. Oh, I lost where I was now. Shame on me. Where was I? Oh, past that. There we go. Wow.
And opening in 1897.
Found it.
And the Nikolai Kirche, or Church of St. Nicholas, which was said to have been rebuilt by 1874. Here's another view of the Nikolai Kirche in the Hamburg Altstadt, with a beautiful stone and brick masonry bridge, as well as other beautiful infrastructure combining stone and brick. Other interesting architecture of Hamburg includes this location with buildings on what looks like an artificial island, situated in the middle of a canal, connected by bridges to the towering buildings on both sides of it. And this massive building in Hamburg, perfectly framed by an archway, just like the ancient temple in Carthage, perfectly framed by the archway, and shown in the last video. On an interesting side note, the first railway line in Hamburg, between Hamburg and Bergedorf, was opened on May 5th, 1842, on the exact same day the Great Fire started. This was the Bergedorf station in Hamburg, used only for 4 years between 1842 and 1846.
Wow.
In July of 1845, a great fire was said to break out in New York City. It was said to have started in a whale oil and candle manufacturing establishment and quickly spread to other wooden structures in lower Manhattan. At Greenwich in London
I lost it again. So here she said quickly wooden structures.
By fire was said to have destroyed buildings from below Wall Street on Broad Street to Stone Street.
Yeah.
Up Whitehall Street to Bowling Green.
Wow.
And up Broadway to Exchange Place. These places pictured in New York City have incredibly large buildings of heavy masonry or bricks.
Yeah.
When were these built? The Great Pittsburgh Fire was said to have happened in the same year, on April 11th of 1845.
So the Great Fire of Pittsburgh and New York happened on the same year.
The Great Pittsburgh Fire was said to have been started by a woman who worked for Colonel Deal on Berry Street, who had just stoked a fire to heat wash water. This is a detail from a Nathaniel Courier print.
Nightmare on Dyke Street.
This is a good place to insert that famous artists and authors were part of creating the new historical narrative that was being imprinted in our consciousness and taking our attention away from questioning what is actually in the environment around us. Charles Dickens was said to have described Pittsburgh in 1842 as a city that had a great quantity of smoke hanging over it. In spite of having no formal education, after having left school to work in a factory because his father was in debtor's prison, edited a weekly journal for 20 years, wrote 15 novels, 5 novellas, and hundreds of short stories and articles. He's one of many famous and incredibly accomplished people I have come across in my research, said to have little or no training in their respective fields, including art and architecture. The Third Presbyterian Church in Pittsburgh was said to have stopped the progress of the fire in its direction, only losing a wooden cornice. The Monongahela House,
that
said
stopped
to be
the fire
Pittsburgh's
and
first
only
hotel,
lost a wooden
and first built in
cornice.
1840, destroyed by the
That's
1845 fire, and subsequently rebuilt in 1847. Notice the electric streetcar side by side with the horse-drawn carriages.
Yep.
The flames were said to move slowly, giving people time
Looks
to
like
remove
Boston.
themselves and their
That's New
belongings,
York.
and going to places like the Hill District, said to be undeveloped except for the newly built Allegheny Courthouse.
Yep. It's not that new.
Crossing the Monongahela River at the bridge there, which is now called the Smithfield Street Bridge. When the fire ended the next day, it was said to have destroyed 1/3 of the
Spanish
city,
has no
leaving
word
scattered
for
chimneys
turn.
and walls in the ruins, and it was said, inexplicably, there were occasional buildings left untouched amidst the destruction. The Great Fire of Bucharest, in what is now Romania, took place in March of 1847, and was said to be the largest conflagration ever in Bucharest, destroying 1,850 buildings, and
Where was that? Right here. Yeah, just switching it back to see if people can even know the difference
Steel.
anymore.
This was a portable building, portable classroom, which ends up becoming, stationary for 50 years, seems like. So in order to get these portable buildings in, they build them in two halves, and the structure, the main load carrying structure of the two halves of the building is steel. So that's what you're seeing here in this picture. That's a picture of the roof system.
Yeah, there was a
collapsed
lot
down,
of fires,
and all the
Valley
combustible
Parks. It was,
materials from
there was
the
one
building,
everywhere.
The finished building were all gone.
Yeah.
And what caught my eye on this is the distortion of the steel, because the steel usually doesn't. A structure fire does not produce enough heat to cause this kind of distortion.
Yeah, it's excessive heat, all right. But look behind you, you see green leaves back there.
Right. Yeah, there's a bunch of different stuff in here. But you can see that the combustible materials were basically reduced to ash. And these are all the fasteners where, you would have had like, say, like
flooring.
Yeah, or finished roof panels that went on there, different things like that. There's a combination of two, so you can see the roof system up top, and it just looks like a gigantic boat frame, doesn't it, down low?
Yeah. Now, as a fire inspector, in normal house fires, you see that metal so twisted and turned and things like this.
No,
No, until the fires don't get that hot.
That's what I'm saying. Normally up high in a structure fire. I mean, I've never crawled up there and measured it, but the heat layers. That's why when firefighters go into a structure fire, they stay low to the floor, because usually the temperature down low is about 300 degrees, 400 degrees, and then as you get higher up into the medium layers, it's 500-600 degrees, and usually up high it's over 1,000 degrees, but basically 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 degrees, somewhere around in there.
Hey guys.
And again, the scorching.
You say something?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out.
All right. Hey, thank you for joining, John.
Oh, you got it. No problem.
Good night, man.
All right. See you, Singe.
What's going on?
He's going to bed.
Trees.
Well, I'll be watching.
Yeah, there's amazing pictures.
There's John. Thank you.
School.
All right,
This was another phenomena we found.
Is that a plastic fence?
It's a PVC fence, which are highly combustible. And the only spot where we could see that there was a problem is consistent with where there were metal fasteners.
Look at that.
So it wasn't.
I want to. Where's he showing the cars? So I wanted to show. Where's it at? Right here. It's coming.
Just remember the temperatures melting. Temperatures of things
Okay.
are lower.
There's not enough
the
highly
asphalt
combustible
itself has a
materials
lower
around
temperature
the wheel.
melting degree.
I'm backing up right here, maybe. Trying to see where the cars are at. Right there. Let's see what happens. This thing works different. This website.
Yeah, I heard things like people not being able to get out of their cars and burning to death in their cars.
You look, the door handles,
doors
which
melt
would normally be
closed.
There it
plastic,
is. The door
are all
handles.
gone. Tail
Door
lights,
handles are gone.
bumpers, which are now plastic, all gone.
Imagine that happening.
Wheels
in
melted.
seconds
We'll
when
talk a
you're
little bit more
inside.
about that.
Okay, I guess
and then
it did.
again, this steel structure in the background, untouched.
Yeah, and when it's completely blown out, what kind of heat would do that? How much heat do you have to have to cause that kind of? That's not a normal car fire.
High electric windows.
No. We don't normally see the level of destruction that we saw in these cars on a car fire. A lot of times, we pull up and we put them out. But
I have
Matt
done
and I
car
have both
fires
been on
as a
car fires
locksmith,
where they were never
forensic
reported.
locksmith.
They happened in the middle of the
I've
night and nobody ever
2
reported
or
them.
3
And
actually.
you're not going to see that level of destruction. The other thing is that this is down low. Remember I talked about that 300
burn for
degree,
hours. They'd sit there and
300
burn
degree
for
range.
inside the seats and stuff will burn
down
for
low,
hours.
where the firefighters are crawling
inside the car.
Okay,
and it will just burn.
There's
burn.
not enough highly combustible materials around the wheels on cars to cause them to burn and fail like they did. So, what kind of radial
fire.
tires are they putting on cars nowadays? Steel belted radials.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's right. Steel belted. That's right.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. Didn't think of that.
So we believe that the steel was a factor in causing the tires to catch fire. And I'm showing you just some good ones there. Okay, so if you look closely at this, you can see this is a steel drum on a brake system, and another. This is probably your outer wheel cover, but
wow,
the wheel is completely gone. It's melted, and you can see this wire that's laying around out here. That's what's left of your steel belted radial.
So melted buildings and
these would have
mounted.
been
I know, right?
But,
now that would take a very even more intense energy.
It would.
Like the highest
they're
possible.
basically aluminum alloys. The aluminum alloy wheels completely turned to liquid and flowed.
Nothing compared to burning the house.
Again, no combustible materials left anywhere on the car.
They're laughing. They're like, thank God they don't have castles in this era. It's easy to burn them out this time.
Well, let's see. Alloy wheels are a range. Aluminum is got a fairly low melting point, but I believe alloy wheels is about 1,200 degrees.
Wow.
But remember what I just said.
About 300.
They're down low.
Yeah.
They're down low. There was no fuels around them. Okay. No fuels. So, and usually on car fires, you don't see complete destruction under the hood and inside the car and outside the car.
That's your car.
But it was a common finding up there. That was what's left of the car seats. All the combustible materials are gone.
So the idea is that the wires that are inside a steel belted radial tire absorbed energy at a different rate than the rubber, and then cause the rubber to ignite, which leads us to these pictures. How else could you?
The picture of the
explain
helicopter
why
shooting the
melt,
lasers is
why
ridiculous.
the aluminum would melt, and all the things that we're seeing here, if it wasn't some form of directed microwave energy. How could this happen?
It couldn't, could it?
No. So if you look at,
eliminate it, so we got directed energy coming.
Yeah,
remember how
that was a Photoshop picture of a.
Remember how horrible and crazy Lahina was?
Yeah.
How insane.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't hear about it until about a week after it happened, or unless you were paying attention like me. If you're watching the mainstream news, you didn't hear about it for 4 or 5 days. Then, maybe with 2 weeks later, stop talking about it completely. They've stopped talking about it as fast as they could, and those people are suffering right this second as we speak. They still have no homes. No, there should be if this were the America or any country that you thought it was, they would be all over there helping you, and it would be on the news, and everybody would be coming to help you, and it'd be like the horriblest time and the most wonderful time of humanity coming together and stuff. It's just like nothing. This blackout media, and then dump the topic as fast as you can. It makes me quite angry.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it. I think I've had enough. I
get to say, stick that in your tooth pipe and smoke it.
We've
You gotta let me finish.
Yeah,
stick that in your tooth pipe and smoke it. And if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
I'm Boston Ray, and that's my slice of the mud.
I am slow to sweet dreams. Okay, I'm done.
Give us one last shout out. We have Eli, Jim from Florida. Thank you everybody for showing up. Valley Parks.
That's gonna be my whole ending from now on.
DM.
So you gotta remember, don't until I get done laughing, then you can talk.
Daryl Davis.
Sweet dreams.
Rocky Shepherd.
Where's Random Fan? Get your ass in here.
I don't know. I haven't seen him. Where's he been?
He's too busy covering for his insane boss.
Oh, well, at least he's working. Morgan,
dementia ridden.
You think?
Ray?
Valley Parks. I don't know if I already got you.
We think you gotta email me, or I gotta email you, or gotta get in touch with you.
I gave him your number 4 times. Rethink. 4 times.
No, you gotta get to me again.
Yeah, for the 5th time.
Then no, it was only twice. He always exaggerates because his memory's not as good as it should be.
No, all right. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who supported me over the past few weeks. I got a lot of supporters. Me and Cinchman are making a list, and he's making some graphics on it.
And we're checking it twice.
Yeah, because we have a lot of supporters.
So and sure naughty or nice yet.
And if anybody hasn't supported, then why not support us? We have Buy Me a Coffee.
Jim from Florida.
Boom.
Jim from Florida is your neighbor. He's in Florida.
And we have
you got to meet up with Jim from Florida.
Yeah.
Sean Osborne is here. Boom, told you. I called him.
PayPal.
I knew he was here. That's why I called him out.
Cash App. Venmo. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to play a couple tracks, and I'm out. Later. Thank you.
like playing with fire, man. We'll let the world burn. Through the eyes of the rebel, the terrible, the turbulent treble, the words of the devil, they ain't shit, the world is a pebble. God isn't coming, it's all lies, heaven's a myth, kid. I'll wipe you off the earth like you never existed. Gifted, lifted, minding his own dog. I can scare your whole clique off with a phone call. I got my own words, accent, my own draw. I got bulletproof lungs and some chrome drawers. I got a pill full of heaven and hell. Masculine dreams, I'm high, but you never can tell. I got friends doing time locked in federal jail. And a million predators who all said I would fail. I don't spot beef, I stash burners under the car seat. Fuck swimming with them, I gotta wipe my chin from the shock meat. I'm gassed up from white women and dock freaks, and I don't need no motherfucking engine to stop me, nah.
I'ma make it burn. I'ma make it burn.
Kung fu kicks, kill you with a drum loop, bitch. 1-2 spit, something I can gun you with. Once you bit by a zombie that's too quick, my cannon is loose. Unorthodox, Confucius, spark the flip. Oh, we gon' start some shit. Amadeus, I beg your pardon, bitch. Yeah, this be the hardest spit. Chemical imbalance, terrible with talent, knowing dark as this. Coffins and graves, big slaying, the boss of brigade. So often we blaze, never getting armed to behave. No control, overdose, hold the smoke, blowing dope. I can hear him calling, I ain't falling for the okie dope. To the death of him, setting fire to Bethlehem. Full of testosterone, surrounded by the estrogen. Get your next again, circumcise him like some extra skin. I'll burn this motherfucker down before I'm exiting.
I'ma make it burn. I'ma make it burn.
Like the fire that inspires the desire inside that tires underneath the NASCAR driver before a crash. Due to these fraud liars, now I keep my guard higher than God's choir. My bars fryer, proper, sharper than barbed wire on a chain link. Fence, I'm trying to make sense of what my brain thinks, but I panic all frantic cause I'm manic hard as granite. Granted, I've been through a lot, damn it, so how could I not plan it to be on top of the planet one way or another? Someday you'll understand it, but for now, it's just me. Trust me, nobody can touch me. These clowns animated like crust, like crust.
I'ma make it burn. I'ma make it burn.
guess I'll just check the tail end of the failed friendship we had way back, like a whale fin. And now the elephants in the room, and they pale in comparison to the pain I'm sharing, and it's embarrassing. About to get the kerosene and burn up everything we shared, and then up in flames. This is not a fucking game. Yo, there it went, there it went. It's embarrassing, but yo, I don't even care if you lit or you high. Airplanes are literally littering in the sky, while you're twittering the little kids in the video live. We spending these ends with the pyramid. I'm fucking serious. This is no time to question me, period. Now I'm furious, about to redo this chick's interior. If I appear to her as inferior, then she's delirious and not a period. Just throw them hands in the air and wave them if you're on my team. If you're on my team, then scream. Just scream real loud if you're on my team. Then scream. Just scream real loud.
Have you been feeling sad most of the time, losing interest in things you once cared about? You may be experiencing these and other symptoms that are difficult to understand. These symptoms are worth exploring with a doctor. Learn more about major depressive disorder and a potential treatment